Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, happy President's Day to you. Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B is even here.
Amazing.
We also got Jax and Connor, and we're in the ESPN 620 studios, and we are the only sports guys in the house today. As the mothership, they got the day off.
They did.
So no Wolf. I don't hear Manuch, so if you could put him on, you really don't need to. Jimmy, you do the show today?
I'm good, pal. Yeah,
let's
you
do
and me.
it. How was your weekend?
Hey, I was great, and at least
you play any golf?
I did, and you'll be pleased to know that I went on holes 5, 6, and 7, 3 straight birdies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Best I've ever shot. That was the front 9 that I played at the Ironwood course. 3 straight birdies, and that's the best I've ever shot on that course.
Well, good. So
yeah.
What did you finish?
At 31.
Wow.
Yeah.
31. That's not good for the handicap.
When the Clownmouth came up, no, it was a regular course. It wasn't the Clownmouth. It was a regular course.
Ironwood, that's not really right. That's executive. So yeah.
It's just a shorter course.
It's not short. So it's not labeled as an executive, but it plays short like an executive.
Shorter, yes.
Shorter. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, all right, here's what we got scheduled today. A lot of sound from the weekend. We're going to get into hockey, going to get in the NBA All-Star game. We'll have Craig Fouey with us today, Rudy Carpenter. They all stop by at some point this afternoon. We'll be with you till 4 o'clock, but we'll dive into this weekend first as we kind of get into the local sports, the local basketball that we had. And we'll start with the Cats down in Tucson as the Cougars rallied from a 5-point halftime deficit to beat Arizona 62-58. Didn't cover the 1.5, so I was not happy. It was the second consecutive loss for the Cats. They're now 17-8, 11-3 after going 77 straight league games without back-to-back setbacks. That was the longest streak in the country. Houston, on the other hand, they'll play Arizona State tomorrow. They improved to 7-0 on the road in Big 12 play. They shot 50% in that second half, and they took advantage of Arizona by taking a sizable rebound advantage, and that was the key in that one. But the Cats, they shot 36% overall. They were 5 of 23 from threes, going 1 of 9 from outside the second half. After they were 2 of 22 in Tuesday's loss to Kansas State. So the Cats, quick turnaround tonight. They got Baylor. And they beat Baylor at home 81-70 on January 14th. Now, for the Sun Devils, 6 straight home game, and they failed. They lost. They fell to TCU at Desert Financial Arena, 74-70. It was their 5th straight loss and 6th consecutive home loss. Their record now under 500, 12-13, 3-11. They dropped below that 500 mark for the first time this season. You had a few ejections. Well, one anyway with Adam Miller. He was ejected for the second time this season. Their 3-point woes, just like Arizona. They were 13 of 27 against Texas Tech earlier in the week, and they pushed them into double overtime. So that wasn't bad. But this time, they only shot 9 of 27, and that was not good, and that was probably the biggest difference. But as I mentioned, they have Houston tomorrow.
And watching Houston in reference to
yes,
game. There I am.
Thank you,
Connor,
damn it.
Somebody pushing buttons all over the place. Houston's tenacious defense pretty much, I think, showed U of A.
Dude, this coffee's terrible.
Well, it's all they had.
Oh, my God. Is it from last Friday?
No, it's fresh baked. It's hot.
Doesn't matter. You probably just put it in the microwave. This is so bad.
No, I did. It's hot.
Can we take his mic off, Connor?
No.
Seriously, this is probably the worst coffee ever. And know why? It's because Wolf's not here. Now, Wolf is a coffee guy. And if Wolf was here, we'd have really, really good
We'd have
coffee.
Quality control.
This crap is garbage.
Well, that's all they had, Rock. So
why aren't you drinking it?
I've got it right here, my cup right here. I put in my cup. I brought some from home, and I topped it off with that stuff.
Manuch would drink asphalt.
If it's tart, it's hot, I'm drinking it.
There you go. He's drinking.
Yeah, I'm drinking it. Well, you're welcome, Rocky. I just want some coffee. Taste test your coffee for crying out loud.
Well, you don't have to bring you guys won't do that much. And one thing you do well, Manuch, is you bring me coffee normally.
All I know is
this stuff is
I'll talk to management about that. But the coffee back in the break room, that's all they had. It was hot.
Where is the break room? Because I don't take breaks. So where is that?
It's about 50 yards.
Honestly, I've never been in a break room.
Yeah,
You haven't?
No.
It's 50 yards north of here. Take a right.
Who prepares everything for the show? I don't have time to leave during the show.
Well, that's how we get you the coffee.
Yeah.
But this is crap. You should have went to Starbucks or something.
You know what? I just take what they give you, and I'm very happy that they have it. So just be happy.
And the worst thing part of it, just to top it off, because I have a coffee story later that you guys are gonna like. The coffee cup.
Yeah.
Let me just put this on our YouTube. We're YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, right?
Yes.
It says you are perfect. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, it's the cat.
Yeah,
cup.
there you go. That's a cute little cup for you, Rock.
What is wrong with you?
You know, that was the last clean cup in the cupboard, number one, and that was the only hot coffee they had. Number two.
Cups? They don't have cups?
No, they don't have cups.
All right, whatever you have to say about Arizona State's not going to matter. So let's get to TCU.
No, not issue. Houston thumping.
Who cares about Houston? We're not
because
this is a Houston market.
Legit. Now
this is a Phoenix market.
And I'll talk about ASU here in a second.
Oh, God, people can't wait. They want to hear from an NFL player about basketball.
And seeing two losses in a row by the Cats. Not that they're going to panic.
Good coffee, man. It's getting me wired. You're in trouble, Manuch.
Here's the thing. And then ASU, I truly believe I watched that game and watched Miller get kicked out of that game. And then for him, Bobby Hurley, they didn't want him in the locker room to talk after the game. I really believe and love Bobby Hurley. I think he's on his last legs at ASU. I really do.
That's breaking news, man.
Well, but I mean that I think topped it off.
I thought topped it off when he got ejected and when he didn't shake the U of A's hands. I think that was the clear sign that 2 weeks ago.
But my sign that the buildup of this, that was the last straw I felt.
You don't think the Arizona was the last straw?
No,
he's got 3 wins in the Big 12.
Because if he could have make a run, which he's not now,
it's too late.
And taking Texas Tech to a double overtime,
everybody gets lucky.
Okay, but they should have beat TCU. They should have beat that TCU.
Wait a minute. Would-haves, could-haves, should-haves. Yeah.
But I think that the Miller tossing and then the post game where he came into the guys that want me in the locker room for whatever reason is, hey, and I'm sure Graham Rossini, the AD, is like, okay, decision made. Let him play it out, and we'll move on at the end of the season.
His Rolodex has been open for 3 months,
and it may have been, but I just think that kind of was the icing on the cake. To have your players out of control, which we've seen several times this year. He's lost the locker room. He's lost the players. And I think at this point, Bobby's just going to play it out for this ASU team.
To your point where you mentioned that, the players didn't even want him in the locker room. Mm-hmm. When he had his postgame and mentioned that,
yes,
he was so nonchalant about it. Yeah. It was like
no big deal.
He wasn't pissed.
Yeah.
It was like he knows the writing's on the wall. He's already He's already found a realtor. I mean, he is already out the door.
Yeah, I thought that was it was kind of like, to your point, nonchalant, like, yeah, well, they didn't want me in the locker room. Hell, I'm in the locker. Sorry, guys, I'm here. I'm your head coach. And if I'm going to finish this off, I'm going to finish it my way.
To your point, he lost the team.
Yeah, he did. He's
totally
lost
when
the
team.
team.
When the players take over the locker, there's a problem there.
And tell you that they don't want you.
Exactly.
And there for whatever reason. It is a sad state of affairs at Arizona State.
All right, let's give some love to the Lopes. They scored on the final 12 possessions at University of Texas Arlington. They outscored the Mavs 25-11 in the last 6.5 minutes, and they end up winning that game 82-75. The victory keeps them within a game of the WAC leader, Utah Valley. And they have about 5 games left. They're off all week. You got homecoming on Saturday against Cal Baptist, a team they need to beat this time around, and it's a purple out. And then our love for NAU. They beat Sac State on Saturday, 65-61, and they have a 3-game home stretch. Yeah, easy for me to say. This coffee, jeez. They're hosting Idaho, Eastern Washington, and Northern Colorado. So that's what you have. Locally, not much else going on other than that.
All-Star game, Jimmy B. Did it scratch your itch for an All-Star game?
Not at all. And I was more tuned into the hockey. The hockey was off the charts, and the ratings bared that out. At one time, they had over 5 million people watching.
What was the difference in the All-Star game? Just because they played a 40 versus a full game?
Yeah.
First one to 200 wins? We saw one and the same thing.
Let me just say, it's so contrived. They're doing everything they possibly can to try to put a little spice in it. Just like in the National Football League All-Star game, nobody gives a damn about that anymore in the NFL. Now nobody gives a damn about the NBA All-Star game.
And thank God that at least McClung gets a 10-day contract every year.
That was the
entertainment value.
That was the show. The dude was great.
How bad is that when the NBA has to bring a hired gun, to come in and win the slam dunk competition, and the kids
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row, and the kids completely love it.
He makes more money in the dunk contest than he does on his salary.
That is correct.
Good for him. But I mean, how bad has it gotten where nobody will compete that's of worth to get the slam dunk competition that they bring him in? And great, because he's the only entertainment value for the slam dunk. Period. End of sentence.
I'm telling you right now, he is so much fun to watch. He's on a 2-way contract with the Orlando Magic. So he plays in the G League. Sometimes if they have injuries, then he gets called up and he plays on the Orlando Magic. But most of the time he is toiling in the G League. But the kid is sensational with what he's really good at. He's got to have at least a 50-inch vertical. He's only 6'2".
I would say
6'2".
He probably compares when David Thompson was playing 10 years, 45, 48.
That's a good comp.
I've never seen anybody. I mean, Carter could get up, but he was taller.
Carter was
6'7". Thompson was literally 45, 46-inch vertical. This kid's got to have close to that.
Close to 50.
I mean, just over the Kia again to honor Griffith.
I'll get into that. I'll get into that.
All right. After Canadian fans booed the USA anthem, multiple fights immediately break out between players. You'll hear it again because I'm sure you already saw it and heard it, but you're going to hear it in our sounds from the weekend next. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B right here on ESPN 620.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe, it's the way to go. On 977-1900. 977-1900.
Craving tacos? There's one spot in town that everyone can't stop talking about. The Taco Spot. With mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors and a modern twist. It's no wonder they're the local favorite.
The Taco Spot has the best tacos I've ever had.
With locations opening all over Arizona, satisfying your cravings has never been easier. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. Enjoy handmade tortillas and fresh made-to-order meals that will leave your taste buds dancing. The Taco Spot, where every bite is a fiesta.
Eclipse Auto Body and Repair is Maricopa County's leading auto body shop. They specialize in both foreign and domestic cars. Need custom paint or body work from transmissions to brakes, tune-ups to engines, plus they offer financing options. Visit them at 1951 West Sherrill Drive and Saturdays and Sundays by appointment only. They'll save you up to $1,000 on your deductible and offer a free tow to their shop. Eclipse Auto Body and Repair, 602-486-8781. EclipseAutoBodyAndRepair.com.
The President's Day weekend sale is here at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf with deals in every department like 15% off all demo and used clubs, green tag apparel, buy 2 and get 1 free, and prior gen Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X now $49.99. Swing into Vans Golf Shops for the President's Day weekend sale or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Proudly serving golfers since 1963 and home to our legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Mental health is an essential part of our overall wellness. The National Alliance on Mental Illness Valley of the Sun affiliate offers free classes, support groups, and presentations for youth, adults living with mental health conditions, and family members. Learn more and get help at NamiValleyoftheSun.org. NamiValleyoftheSun.org. That's NAMI Valleyofthesun.org.
St. Joseph's Indian School is much more than a school for Native American children.
It's like a family. Classes are fun here. I am learning about my culture.
Since 1927, St. Joseph's Indian School has provided children the education, healthcare, and support they need to succeed. To help give our kids brighter futures, learn more at stjo.org today.
It's time for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you their top plays and sounds of the weekend on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD2.
He clears. A minute and a half to go. JT Miller races off. They get Gensel on in the red, white, and blue. Faber, empty net, center ice. Larkin has Gensel with him. Jake Gensel scores! And the United States leads 3-1 with 1:19 to go. Done all game. Gets the upper hand, and here's the play they think, oh boy, that's going to be close. Larkin throws it across to Gensel. It looks like it's going to slide. The 2 goal scorers, Larkin and Gensel, combined for the empty netter. So Gensel's got a pair.
How about Gensel? He gets 2 for Team USA as they beat Canada on Saturday, and they will wait to hopefully play them again. And they were up 4-0 in the second period today. I believe over Finland, I think they're playing.
Correct.
And correct. Yeah, you sound like Jimmy. Short
and sweet. Pardon the pun. Pardon the pun.
Well, the short is correct. Not so sweet.
So, what an interesting night as USA and Canada, they played each other. It's the 4 nations face-off. 3 fights break out in the first 9 seconds of the game. And before that, the Canadian crowd booed the U.S. national anthem. We had talked about that last week, that was going on. It was also going on in the NHL, of course, when the new president took over and the tariffs, and the Canadians just had some problems with it. And they made themselves loud the other night there in Montreal. At least now it'll go to Boston for Thursday in the championship. So I am curious. We all know the massholes and how they do stuff. They may
paybacks.
They may have some fun when they play the Canadian national anthem.
Sure. I'm sure. You know, these three breakout fights seemed like so predetermined. It was kind of like, all right,
they were set.
Yeah. It kind of set the tone. Like, oh wow, it's on. I mean, I loved it. It was like, this will be great theater for the entire game.
So I'm watching it at a bar with a bunch of hockey guys, and I'm not gonna lie. I've since changed my way of looking at it. I was actually pissed off that hockey had an opportunity to showcase themselves, and what do? They have fights in the first 9 seconds. Okay, that was my initial thought process. After it sank in, I did a total 180, and I was like, "Heck yeah, let's get into some slap shot, right?" So, but and also because I understood that they were getting at it because of the national anthem, the booing by the Canadians, but that wasn't the reason for the fights. And you're going to hear the reasons for the fights because many of you don't know why they fought and why the Kachuk brothers got into it. But first, we're just going to take you back because it's our sounds of the weekend. And here is the national anthem getting booed. We won't play the whole thing, but we'll play most of it. And the reason why I'm saying that because I'm not trying to be rude to cut off the national anthem. All right, that's why I'm saying that. But in effort of time, we will slowly bring it down. But behind closed doors, Connor will play the song out so no one gets offended and we don't get emails. All right, so here is the American national anthem being booed loudly at Bell Center in Canada. All right, so we'll let that play out. But I got really upset when that happened because we had the sound on in the bar and it was loud and everybody was getting into it. And you could, and we had some Canadians in there and wearing their sweaters, and a lot of people were flipping them off, because it's just rude. I don't care how you slice it or dice it; it's rude.
Well, it's sad. It's become a sad state of affairs that's something like this. I think what they're just upset, not only the terrorists, but also Trump asked them to be the 51st state in the nation. By the way, there's provinces. It'd be a country. So, what state are you going to pick? Is it Ontario? What state are you looking for?
Manitoba.
Yeah,
I'll take Vancouver.
Well,
good place.
Vancouver, Ontario, whatever.
Toronto.
But I just think that they just feel violated with everything going on. So, do you boo the national? I don't think you boo anybody's anthem. Politically wise. I think you just keep it. Let's just keep sports, politics.
It's impossible.
But the way it came out, and it came in a very defiant way. They're very upset about it. But I'm like you, Rock. It's okay. If you're going to boo, I get it. But there's national anthem. How when the players introduced, you can boo them there versus the anthems that they have. Be respectful for those anthems.
Connor, are we okay? Did the anthem finish? I know it was like 123. All right. So let's get to the USA Canada. Here are the 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
And the gloves are off. Handle from Tampa Bay to Chuck from Florida. Did not see this coming. Both sides said they hoped it wouldn't happen tonight. It did. It's helped set the tone. Charlie McAvoy put one on net. Now we're 9 seconds in. We had a fight 2 seconds in, another one 1 second later. Now in the center of the action, it's Colt Parayko and JT Miller. This is like 1996 when this building opened up with the World Cup.
Love it.
It was great.
It really was. At first, like I said, I was a little upset because I'm like, all right, hockey has an opportunity to own the weekend, and they ended up owning the weekend because what was interesting is that went viral and went on every single network, not sports, from ABC to Fox to CNN. Everybody had it, and Canadians have to look foolish today. Well, maybe not today, but right after, because we as a country went after them by showing it everywhere. Now, people didn't really know why that the fight started. They think when you're just seeing a headline, you're thinking that this happened because of the booing. It wasn't. So we're going to play, before we get to what the fight was about, here are the Bash Brothers, which are now the nicknames of the Kachucks. And here is, they were mic'd up right when they were the 2 fights, okay? They were mic'd up, and here's what they had to say in the penalty box.
I'm good. Unbelievable.
They did kick their asses.
They did.
They got after it.
I mean, it was
their
3-0.
dad taught them well. Yep. That's for sure.
There's no Canadian could call in right now and say that you guys won those fights. You did.
I mean, they got after it. They were bound determined.
I mean, they weren't blowouts, but we got the edge.
It was tough to connect. All of them were tough to connect as far as blows to the head, but it's interesting. As soon as they go down, those refs jump in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Jump right on top of them.
All right, here are the brothers, the Kachucks, after the game about the fight and where it all started.
Did you know early today you wanted to try something like that if they saw, or you just come to you?
Well, yeah, there's a little discussion during the day, and there's a group chat going on today. So still something like a baby though, but you know what? And then we just kind of reaffirmed that we're gonna do that, and I think Matthew's fight to start off was just such an energy boost. I think I was more excited, more nervous than my own, and then Millsy to cap it off to go against a big guy like that. I think he did a great job, and I think it was a pretty awesome experience.
What's interesting about these guys, all 3 of them aren't big fighters. They're little guys, and they went at it, which is great.
And the last little guy went after the guy was at 6'7".
Yeah,
with skates. He's like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of a draw, but that big guy got it wrapped around him, got him down quickly. And fortunately, the officials jumps on top of him.
3 fights in 9 seconds.
Never seen it, ever.
I haven't never seen that.
Well, slap shot.
Well, but that was the Hanson brothers that did all that work, but not from they dropped the puck. I've seen guys drop the puck and then go, but I haven't seen 3 of them in 9 seconds. That's got to be a record.
We're in our studios here at ESPN 620, and there is a breaking news on News Nation that a Delta Airlines flight flips in Toronto.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Yeah, it's right behind you, Jimmy.
Okay. I see it.
Look at that. Wow.
But unfortunate.
So, I'm sure many of you driving around today, you're going to want to get on your phone and look at this.
Okay.
We can't hear anything, so we don't know if there's any casualties or anything like that. Hopefully there's not. But a Delta Airlines flight flips in Toronto.
Weather back in there.
Yep.
Anyway, real quick, the Daytona 500. Daytona 500 made history as the president of the United States actually was kind of leading the way, which I thought was pretty cool. And here's some sound of that and one of the drivers and his opinion of the president at the Daytona 500.
But this is truly an historic first. A sitting United States president pacing the field for the Great American Race. He said he wanted to do a lap. He's going to do it. And are the drivers excited about this? Well, here's Clint Boyer's radio.
Pace the field? Yep. Love it. Gosh, it's awesome.
So Williams, it's his second straight Daytona 500. He is one of 5 drivers to win the race back to back. So good stuff there as our president's getting some he loves the sports. So I don't know.
He loves the limelight,
he'll
the
be
sports. Driving around
too. If I was the president of the United States, I'd beat all this stuff because you can't get a ticket. So as the president, you can do anything you want.
Come in the back door with your entourage, your
It's awesome.
Driving that.
How's that not cool?
You have that.
If you like the president or not, if he's Republican or Democrat, a sitting president getting a lap at the Daytona 500, and you didn't go with me, but I've been to Daytona 500, and it is a remarkable place. Of course, it's the Super Bowl of NASCAR,
right?
But just to be there, I think it's pretty cool.
I thought it was interesting him in his big tank of a car going around. I wonder what was the top speed? Get to like 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. They got around.
I want to know how many of those are. Do they fly that car into?
Yeah,
I think yes, they do.
Yep, they do.
They do.
It just goes anywhere.
Yeah, everywhere he goes, the car goes.
Plus the cars the Secret Service are in.
They all fit in the Air Force One.
That big old, it's like a 747. Yeah, that bad boy is filled with cars. I even think that was it the cars and all the above. So yeah, that thing was going around the track at about probably 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. To see that big bad boy going around and him waving at the crowd.
What's that? What's the next big event? March Madness? You think he'll
probably
be at March Madness?
Yeah, probably see the finals. He'll be in there.
All right, coming up, we'll catch up with former NFL and Sun Devil quarterback Rudy Carpenter. Get his thoughts as we now turn the page to free agency and the draft. But first, here's Jax with a local sports update right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's bottom of the hour ESPN 620 sports update. I'm Jackson Groff. The Arizona Wildcats dropped 6 spots in the latest AP Top 25 men's basketball rankings released earlier today. Arizona 17-8 slid in the poll after suffering 2 losses last week, falling to Kansas State on the road on Tuesday and dropping a close game to Houston at home on Saturday. With 6 conference games remaining, the Wildcats trail Houston by 2 games for the conference lead and are tied with Texas Tech currently. Houston climbed up to number 5 after Saturday's win at the McKale Center and will face Arizona State on Tuesday. Arizona is set to play Baylor tonight at 8 p.m. before hosting BYU on Saturday. There are multiple ways to listen to us, ESPN 620 on FM at 98.7 HD2. Always stream it live on arizonasports.com. Check out our show pages on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here, and we're loving hearing from our fans that you love seeing us play. You love seeing the dunks, alley-oops, long shots, trick shots, the buzzer beaters, and all the cool tricks. And we can't wait to bring all our history and all the laughs. We're coming to Desert Diamond Arena on February 21st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to
It's on 129.
the World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Sucks.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And the Roc and Manuch Amber on tap. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber poured by Dos Equis. Arena Sports Grill open daily until 2 a.m. For their daily specials, head to arenasportsgrills.com. That's Arena Sports Grill in North Scottsdale.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter, who went 3-0 against that team in Tucson.
Deep ball again by Rudy Carpenter. He reads it, zone coverage, gets by the safety.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Rudy Carpenter now on ESPN 620. How you doing, Rudy? How's your Monday going?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Doing well, doing well. So for you in your business, in your agency, and getting players ready for the draft, what is kind of a day-to-day now for some of your possible draftees or kids that are trying to either move schools or transfer portal or any of that stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of different aspects to the agent business. On one hand, we have college coaches that we work with. So obviously, this offseason we had 3 guys change jobs, maybe 4 if I look at it. So it was about getting those guys to their new places and getting them moved into their homes and established with their new program. Then you have the NFL veterans who obviously, or rookies that just finished their season, in which you got to make their off-season plans, help them with their off-season training, get back to home wherever they're going. And then you got guys that you got to renegotiate contracts for. So you got that. And then you have the guys that are, going to go into the draft this year, in which you get those guys signed to their SRA contracts, their standard representation agreements, their marketing agreements, and then you get them sent off to the training facilities that they're going to be at, whether it be an Exos, whether it be a Proactive, whether it be any of these other facilities that these guys go to work out. For some of the guys, they have the East-West Shrine game, they have the Senior Bowl that they go to, and then after that, basically right now, all the way up until the end of February, it's hardcore training to get ready for the combine. And that's the main thing right there.
You see some of these, you think of Matt Patricia coming back to Ohio State, or you see some head coaches that don't want to deal with all of this stuff and want to go be a coordinator. Chip Kelly now moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders, be offensive coordinator there. in Las Vegas. What is the feeling, the mood of, or when you feel the pulse of the room or temperature of the room with a lot of college coaches or pro coaches as far as head coaching, coordinator, come back to college, get out of pro ball, et cetera, et cetera? What's kind of the mood or lay of the land with that?
I mean, look, a lot of these coaches get hired and fired a lot. And so a lot of these guys will really take any job that they can get if that's what they have to do. With that being said, for me, the temperature and all the coaches that, I talk with and interact with and deal with, almost every coach wants to get out of college and get to the NFL as quickly as they possibly can. And that's for a lot of reasons. The main reason just being that the NFL lifestyle is a lot better. Everybody, all these coaches, they put in a lot of work and a lot of time to get ready for games and to put their practice plans together and their game plans together and their situational call sheets and everything like that. But for college coaches, it's a lot worse because you have to get on the road and travel a lot for recruiting. And then you got to be on campus for on-campus visits, junior days, summer camps. I mean, you got to do a lot with recruiting, especially now with the transfer portal. And then you got to deal with your own kids leaving. Now you have to deal with NIL, which has changed the landscape because now you have a lot of college programs who are hiring a general manager, and they're essentially having a scouting department that's very similar to the NFL. They have a general manager, they have a director of high school recruiting, a director of college recruiting for guys in the transfer portal, and a GM who manages the current roster, manages the high school recruiting, manages the guys that are in the portal, and then of course manages the NIL spend. So for a lot of these coaches, it's just a lot easier to be in the NFL and coach your guys.
And for your players that are going to the combine or coming out in the draft, do you have a pretty good idea from some of the scouts or some of the scuttlebutt that you talk with a lot of folks out there where your clients might end up, say between the 3rd and 5th round or 1st and 3rd round or et cetera? Is there a pretty good pulse on that prior to the draft?
Yeah, we all have a pretty good pulse. And the reason is because finding out that information is typically going to dictate, number one, how hard we're going to recruit a player and try to get them to sign with us. And then, of course, how much money and resources we're going to put into that player, prior to the draft. If you get a guy that's going to be a high pick, of course, you'll be willing to spend more money on his training, spend more money on his food, spend more money on his car and his living situation and his per diem and his marketing advance, things of that nature. And then, as guys get lower and lower and lower into the draft, obviously that's going to impact your business. And so, you have to, make that decision. And of course, kids are going to, sit back and say, well, this agent's offering me this and this agent's offering me that. And they're going to make, their own decisions. Now, when it comes to really, really knowing, I mean, if you got a guy that's going to be a 1st round pick, you probably know that. If you got a guy that's going to be how it really works is hey, is that guy going to be a top 30 pick? Is that guy going to be a top 60 pick? Is that guy going to be a top 100 pick? That is things you kind of know and you can guess. But, could the guy be pick number 60? Yeah. Could he also be pick number 90? Yeah. That kind of range, a lot of times you can get a guy that, hey, he's a day 3 guy, day 3, rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is, 3 through 7, whatever it is. And, maybe that guy could end up, being an undrafted guy. And it just kind of works like that.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, answer this for me. When, as an agent, do you make a determination if your guy is going to show up and do his thing at the combine, or he's just going to show up and just do interviews and then wait for his pro day? Is that calculated by agents or not?
Yeah, of course it's calculated, but a lot of it has to do with a lot of different circumstances. What is the player's health if you don't feel like your player is going to be able to go to the combine and help himself, and he's only going to be able to hurt himself, and that's because his health isn't good, then there's no reason to go to the combine and try to run a 40 and a vertical jump and do all that stuff when, you're not able to, put good numbers together. You got to remember, it's a long, hard college season. A lot of kids, when the season is over, are having, surgeries or maintenance surgeries. And so it's like, yeah, they might be healthy during the combine, but they didn't get to train for that 6-8 weeks like all the other guys did to make sure they were their absolute best self for the combine. So for that, you got to rely on the player's film, and then you're going to go do all that stuff at the pro day. Of course, there are always some players that are projected to be, a higher pick who are simply not going to work out just because they feel like the leverage is on their side and that they put together such good film. A guy like Travis Hunter, who feels like, hey man, just go watch my film. I'll come here and do all of the interview stuff. But as far as doing the defensive back drills or running a 40-yard dash or all of that, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to risk getting hurt, not going to risk coming to this combine for free where the NFL is making a bunch of money and put myself at risk when you can go turn on the tape and see how good of a player I am. There's a lot of different reasons why guys will participate, or not participate. And of course, there's always the couple guys that aren't going to participate simply because they're not testing well or they're not a good tester and they want to do everything they can to conceal those numbers.
Rudy, my last question for you. Why is Travis Hunter only being allowed to go to the combine as either receiver, defensive back? Looks like he can do all the defensive backs roles. They don't want him doing both. Well, why would they limit him with that?
Because they're not smart. I
would agree.
Do we think Roger Goodell's smart? I would say the NFL is the number one sport in the country in spite of that guy, to be honest with you. But, that is what it is. I would imagine they'll try to come up with some good answer like, well, we only have so much time and we only have so many players at each position. And, we don't want to overwork a guy, or we don't want to, it messes up the schedule on when the guys fly in and when they fly out and, just the rhythm of the day. They're going to come up with some dumb answer as to why that is. I think for Travis Hunter, it doesn't really matter. If I was him, I wouldn't even participate in the combine.
He's Rudy Carpenter. Rudy, as always, thanks for some time today. Appreciate it. Have a good week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Rudy Carpenter joining us, kind of breaking down his former NFL quarterback, ASU standout quarterback, 3-1 against Arizona. All right, he's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. You see them all over the place. All City Towing. They are hiring all types of positions, have all types of benefits, great benefits, health benefits, employer matches, paid life insurance. It goes on and on and on. To find out more, go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Coming up, we'll get into a little bit of football at 50. Got some off-the-wall stuff I want to throw at you as well. And one college scored 886 points this past NFL season. Do you know what school that was? It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learner and Road is the way to go. On 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
There's going to be a lot more games that tickets get to that price. So if you want to be a part of them, you better buy season tickets. You better do it right now. You better sell it out because we're going to have a lot more games where this state wants to show up to. Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? It's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know? VA home loans are a key to home ownership for those who served.
My message to veterans, active duty, retired, is that really seriously look at the VA home loan program. I've done it 3 times now, so I'm a repeat customer. We found a house here that we felt be a great environment for our children to grow up in. It has been transformational to my family.
To learn more about VA home loans, visit va.gov/home loans.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, we'll go back to 2021 as the Padres signed their young superstar shortstop, Fernando Tatis Jr., to the longest contract extension in Major League Baseball history. It was a 14-year deal, estimated worth $340 million. It was the third largest contract in terms of money behind those that were granted last year to Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. Speaking of Mookie Betts, we'll talk some Dodgers at 3 o'clock with Jerry Hairston Jr., who is part of Spectrum, who does pre and post and all types of different shows for the LA Dodgers. They're picked to have 104.5 wins for 2020.
Damn, again, they're loaded again.
3 last year, so it's up a win this year. All right, that's our On This Day report brought to you by Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota will be there on Friday, every Friday. A little football for you here, as I saw an interesting story today. That the headline was one college scored 886 points in the 2024 NFL season, the most in history. Name that college.
Oh, wow. Is it the FCS, FBS, NAIA?
No, it's Division One. Yeah, it's the Division One.
Man, God, that's the lot. There's so many teams out there lighting it up. I don't know, Jim, you got a guess? Go ahead and throw it out there.
I'm going to say Miami Hurricanes.
I'm going to go, who the hell? I'll say Texas. I'll throw it out there.
Would you guys like to play behind the glass?
What do you think back there,
Look at these guys? I can't wait to get to the microphone.
Yeah, I would love to play.
All right, please.
Give me the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Go ahead.
Where'd your dad grow up?
South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Connor?
I'll lean Ohio State.
And why didn't anybody go to Alabama? Think about it.
Well, because they've lost what? They lose 3?
Yeah, they lost 3 games.
And no, you guys don't listen.
No, I know it was
one college scored 860 points in the 2024 NFL season.
It reminds what happened a couple of years ago where Jaden Daniels had lost like 2 games, but that LSU team without scoring almost everybody by such a huge margin, it felt like.
You guys still
said,
don't get
yes,
it.
you said the NFL season that went all the way through to the Super Bowl. So you incorporated the bowl game as well, too.
No, it's a college and the players that went to that college and how they scored in the NFL.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Oh my
okay, please define.
I think
lost
he's
me.
trying to get us on which alums had the most points for their college university in the NFL.
Think of Jalen Hurts.
Okay,
he
I
had
see where you're
14
going.
touchdowns.
Okay.
Running back Josh Jacobs, 16 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 18 touchdowns. Detroit Lions running back Gibbs, 20 touchdowns. Just to kind of give you.
Where's Joe Burrow, who led the league in touchdowns and passing?
LSU?
Well, passing doesn't give you any
No,
scores.
touchdowns.
Points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Points. Yeah, that's some of those tricky questions. You have to kind of read it through.
So, not really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you say how many?
Overall,
For me, it was.
Ex-Alabama players scored 128 touchdowns in the NFL this past season, followed by Ohio State with 72.
Wow.
It's a good little trivia
there's
question.
Kickers. The kicker
Yes,
from
true.
Minnesota. What's his Will? Is it Reichard?
Reichert. Yeah.
He had 110 points in his debut. It was 24 of 30. So yeah, you guys did well on that one.
No, I didn't do very well. on that.
I suck pond water.
Yeah, didn't do well on that one. As far as points being scored, Jalen Hurts leading the charge.
No, not really. He didn't. I mean, he only had what I tell you? He only had 14.
Yeah.
Gibbs had 20. Henry had 18. Josh Jacobs had 16. Jalen had 14.
Yeah.
And those are mainly because of tush push.
Take them. Big touchdowns. 6 points on the board every time.
Hey, are you for the tush push? So many more people now are coming out saying they need to eliminate that
Stop
play.
it. Figure out a way to stop it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Stop it. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
legal.
agree.
It's a football play.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and I think that what's incorporated is guys being allowed to, with the push.
Yeah.
They incorporated a few years ago, as they did in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you think it's unfair or not, figure out a way to stop it. Because within a yard, it's pretty much it's a touchdown all the way around. So I think when I hear that argument by Jim Nantz,
Yep.
or maybe only allow 2 a game, forget it. Just figure out. It's like a quarterback sneak.
It is a quarterback. Yes.
Oh, you're getting a little bit of help.
Yeah.
From the guys from behind you.
And let's not forget that Philadelphia Eagles I think they had the biggest offensive line in all.
Yes, they did.
football.
Yeah, they
So
did.
that kind of plays into that.
And
Yeah,
some
that
teams
helps.
have tried that. I mean,
And
the push.
And I guarantee we'll start seeing this draft. You'll see more teams trying to get the big offensive linemen.
Sure. And I think that
Copycat league, right?
6'7", 6'8",
You bet.
330, 350 along those sides. I remember going back to the mid-'90s when Jimmy Johnson was finally getting those big offensive linemen. Big. They were they seemed to be somewhat overweight, fat, but you know what? Emmitt Smith benefited from it. And you had Troy Aikman benefited from the blocking, not to have a couple of good receivers. And then you had Moose Johnson is a big fullback at 6'4", 250,
yeah.
leading the charge. That's what Jimmy he started that piece of offense. And the other piece he started on the defensive side was getting to the smaller linebackers and basically going with the quicker, smaller linebackers that he brought from Miami, the fast defensive guys.
All right. What do you want?
So if we had the tush push, we were to run it with all of us in the studio. So you got Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B. Actually, just you three. Who's running the ball and who's pushing the tush between you three?
Well, I'll be running, and these 2 guys will be pushing me.
No, Jimmy be running.
I'd be running.
Jimmy be running.
Damn straight.
Jimmy, you got nothing in your rear end. You're light, man.
Yeah, well, he can just jump over. I mean, he can just hop over. Hey, on a serious note, we need your support. Join us for an unforgettable night of basketball on March 26th. The Celtics and the Suns at Footprint Center. This is a special event that's not just about basketball. It's about honoring the memory of Preston Lord and supporting a vital mission to empower youth and enrich lives through the Justice for Preston Lord nonprofit organization. It's up on our website right now at rockandmanuch.com. You can click on it. It's a night of basketball. It's a fundraiser. So if you buy tickets to the game, a portion of those proceeds will benefit this cause. And just to kind of take you back, sadly, to October 28th, 2023, as Preston was leaving a party and he was, what they say, blitz-styled attacked by a gang of teenagers known in the community out there in Gilbert as the Gilbert Goons. Sadly, he passed away. So they have started this 501c3 to basically get the word out, so something like this doesn't happen again. So if you go to rockandmanuch.com, and you can get tickets by just clicking on the banner ad that you'll see right there. You can't miss it.
Good for them. Good to see there's something like that in the community out there, and put these goons away for a long, long time in reference to that. So I'm glad they're doing some kind of a fundraiser like this, and coming across some of the young men I've trained out there in that area in the neck of the woods that knew him. I believe he was an outstanding basketball player well too.
Yep.
And just an outstanding young man. I think they call blitzed. I call ambushed, coming out of that party by these individuals. And I'm going to go through the details, but just good to see that they're rallying around for Preston and his family. That still very, very difficult for a lot of those folks in the community. But to get those knuckleheads off the streets, the Gilbert Goons is half the battle right there.
Some real quick sports bar gossip for you here on President's Day. There's a poll that asked, if it were ever possible, would you drive across a massive bridge from the U.S. to Europe?
If it was possible,
would you do it?
It'd take too damn long. I mean, with the flight, it's 5 hours from New York
to London.
No.
So they said, if you go on Google Earth and you draw a bridge from the shortest distance from Maine to Portugal, it's about 3,100 miles. Assuming you could go about 85 miles an hour, it would take more than 36 hours to complete. Assuming no stops, a constant speed, would you do it?
36. No, unless they got hotels, restrooms, gas. No, never do that.
All right, 35% said yes, 18% said no, and 28% hell no.
I'd go with hell no.
I'd go with hell no.
I'd go with hell no, too. I have enough trouble being in San Diego going over the bridge of Coronado. That thing scares the heck out of me. How high that is.
It is high.
And all the bridges from like New Jersey to Philly or in Pittsburgh, there's bridges everywhere. It's nuts.
Yep.
Oh, hour number 2 is next. We appreciate you hanging out with us today. Many of you are off from work. We're slaving here. And
somebody's got to do it.
Tough work. So stick around. Our G2G protein bars, Game Changers, and Craig Fooey all coming up.
Hey, you. I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. allcity.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink, packed with the electrolytes your body craves, but without the artificial junk you don't need. Available at your favorite stores, Cocoa 5 Active Hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Well, happy President's Day. Can't wait for the day where we get on the radio on a Monday and we're talking about the Super Bowl the night before.
I know that's your pet peeve.
It's not a pet peeve. It's
You want it.
just a suggestion that I think a lot of other people would agree that, let's move the Super Bowl, a week to have this day as a holiday. I mean, we talked about it last week. Over 125 million people called out.
Well, and it might happen with 18.
Is that,
hey guys,
isn't our country like 360 million?
Yeah,
It's almost
330ish,
almost
something like
half.
that.
That can't be an accurate number.
But the thing is, it might end up that way. 18-game schedule. It might just be
I think that's
on
the
President's Day.
plan, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty much what the plan. They get past the CBA and the NFLPA to get that approved. But yeah, it might just actually fall on President's Day in a couple of years and get the 18-game schedule by default. Super Bowl 2 weeks after, and then you got President's Day the following day. They get your wish then, Roc.
I remember covering Super Bowls the very next weekend after the playoffs, and you had the championship games. Super Bowl was the very next weekend.
Versus the 2 weeks?
Yes, exactly.
When did that 2 week thing become a deal?
Oh,
because
it's been a while now.
Yeah.
I think it was in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Might have been.
Because
Yeah.
I've worked six Super Bowls, and when I was working for NFL Properties, our job was the NFL Experience, which was always the week before, and that was a big moneymaker for the NFL and all the money that goes back to that local city. And it's such a great economical boost because you get a week and a half or 2 weeks of the NFL Experience, and at the convention center or wherever it may be in your city. So I think they made it 2 weeks for that reason, to make more money.
Did you work the 96 Super Bowl here at Sun Devil Stadium with Dallas and Pittsburgh? Were you working that with the NFL Experience?
That was my first Super Bowl.
Okay, gotcha. Because I remember
Pittsburgh and Dallas.
And Dallas. All the activities they had at
$320 to get in.
Wow.
Was that it?
Wow.
Just
So
$320.
I remember $325 was the ticket price that you could get in right before the game.
And all the activities, the first Super Bowl here in the Valley, after that was decided, we were supposed to have 1990, and Martin was Ed Meekum was the governor, and they shot it down because he didn't want to vote on Martin Luther King Day.
Oh yeah.
So
they moved
they
the game.
moved it. Well, they finally approved it. The NFL came back and said, okay, now we're going to give you a Super Bowl. But I remember that NFL Experience they had along the river there. That was really cool. They used Sun Devil, the practice fields.
Yep.
They used right along for the NFL Experience. Remember taking the kids over there. That was laid out perfect. Everything was right around Sun Devil Stadium, Scottsdale, Old Town Scottsdale. We did I did a couple of radio shows in that area, which was convenient to have all the players there and all the people that are there, making sure that things were happening. That seemed to be the most convenient Super Bowl here in town.
All right, got some college stuff to pass along as there's some momentum that is building within the SEC and the Big Ten to further expand the playoff to 14 or 16 teams, and talk of expanding the NCAA basketball tournament to 76 teams. So let's start with the SEC and the Big Ten. The way that it's being proposed right now, and there's a big meeting later this week, is taking the playoff format, and what they would do is they would essentially help the SEC get back to, or try to get to 9 regular season conference games, which would then trigger perhaps all 4 power leagues to overhaul their conference championship weekend. So the agenda, which they're calling a serious agenda item, is having all these conferences, the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the ACC, and doing it this way where the SEC would get 4 automatic qualifiers each. 2 would go to the ACC and 2 to the Big 12, and then 1 would go to the highest ranked group of 5 champions. And it includes 1 or 3 at-large spots, one of those intended for Notre Dame if they would finish ranked inside the top 14. So the model, if it's a 14, would be a 4-4-2-2-1+1 model. And it would include 2 seeds, the top seeds, that would receive the first round buys. And then there would be, and if it goes to 16, there would be no buys in the 16 team. So the committee is looking at this, and it sounds as though at least the SEC and the ACC, I keep saying it, SEC and the Big 10, they are meeting this Wednesday in Charlotte, I believe, or somewhere, and New Orleans, and it's the second time in just a few months that they're having this meeting to break this down.
Sounds like they're getting their wish to have the best, 4-4 at the top, which I look at that and go, well, if you look at the championship games last couple of years, the Big 10 has won the national titles last couple of years, Michigan and Ohio State. I think what this is, this assures at least 8 of those teams, 10, 12 of those teams are maybe some of the best teams in the nation at that time. And if you're going to go 14, then you got 2 more. Who are the best of the rest at that point in time? Or if you go 16, you got 4 more to look at some at-large teams or the Boise States or some of those teams like that.
So you're telling me Lane Kiffin wouldn't have anything to complain about?
Exactly right.
Essentially what they're doing.
Sure. And
that's what they're doing.
And if they look at if they go 16 or they go 14, the top 14 teams, top 16 teams, I think at that point, nobody can moan about their team not getting a chance to get in there. And then with the 9 conference games, that will at least help with the committee, make sure you're on par with the other conferences with those 9 conference games.
So if you're an athletic director for the ACC or the Big 10, Big 12. Big 12. Man, I'm struggling today. Do you support this?
No.
Do you support the fact that these other 2 conferences are getting 2 more automatics, which is a lot of money?
Yep.
Well, it's a lot of money, but it's not. It's one of those not fair kind of rules.
It is not fair.
I mean,
but what are you going to do?
Well, and that's the thing is,
how do you fight it?
Yes, exactly.
You don't want them to say, all right, well, if you don't want to play, beat it. Because you have to be in the playoffs.
Well, that's why I think that the non-conference games are so vitally important. If you're going to look at the rest, the best of the rest, if you got 4 here and 4 there, SEC, Big 10, and if you're Big 12 or you're whatever the conference, the ACC, you're going to have to make sure that every game is going to be a playoff type game. And then also,
I disagree with you because there was so much talk this year that the Alabamas of the world and teams like that said, hey, we should have scheduled lesser opponents because at the end of the day, if we're undefeated, they're going to keep us in the top 12.
Well, but also you got Bama
lose. The
schedule
schedule really plays into it because these conferences are already so strong. So if you got a couple, non-conference MAC schools or, whatever, and you're blowing them out, shouldn't be.
But Alabama has nobody else to blame but themselves, Rock. The way they lost 2 games or 3 games this year. Even the
Vanderbilt,
the bowl
they
game.
lost to
Vanderbilt,
right
and then they got smoked by Oklahoma.
I understand that, but you're an athletic director here, and why would you, if you're in the ACC or in the Big 12, why schedule an SEC or a Big 10 school?
Well, I think it's because it's still about rankings too. They still want to win the conference and rankings.
If you're undefeated, you're there.
Yeah, that's true, but I think
somebody will make a case that non-conference game, that MAC school, it's Ohio U. We beat Ohio U. We beat them by whatever. And they'll make a case. Well, Ohio U won the MAC last year. There's always ways to slice and dice.
I get it, but this is basically the SEC and Big 10 bullying their way to make sure they got 4 teams in a playoff format, whether it's 14 or 16. Is that fair? No, it's not fair. So the powers to be, I think, if you're going to add 2 more teams, stick with the same kind of model. Now, it was Alabama better than Boise State? Yes, I'd say so. But just the way it fell, Boise State was the at-large team. They were reckoned with that.
But their non-conference schedule and their easy schedule got them there.
Exactly. So
were they really better though than Boise State after what we saw Milroe do in the bowl game where Alabama got beat again and they looked terrible?
You never
Let me
know.
ask you, if I gave you $100, let's go $1 million.
Okay.
And it's Alabama, Boise State last year.
Yeah.
Who are you betting?
I would probably bet Alabama.
I would probably
exactly.
yeah.
So
And
who are
that's
we kidding?
I know that, but I'm saying, just because we say that doesn't mean that it's for real. It's all perception.
You guys are trying to make a case that Boise State's better than Alabama.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm saying, okay, then bet it.
I might have gone with Boise State, to be honest.
And I think it's all about star power, TV power. It's all it is.
Yes.
This is all. It's just the NCAA basically controlling it. Alabama versus the Boise State, or Penn State sneaking in the back door versus KU or something like that. I think that's what this is all about. And it looks like the Big Ten and the SEC are getting their cake and eat it too, if this gets voted upon and is approved.
We have some NCAA Final Four stuff we'll get into a little bit later on the time right now. But real quick, I just got to get this in. Manuch and I have been at this 20-plus years, but I don't know how long ago this was, but Manuch was all in on this trade that the Diamondbacks had.
Oh, you're talking about the Shelby trade?
It was one of the worst trades. And I even said it. At the time, and I was on my horse. I was in Manuch for some reason, just like he thought Kevin Cobb was a good quarterback for Arizona.
4-0 until I got hurt.
The Diamondbacks are bringing him back.
Are they?
He was one of the largest disappointments ever in franchise history, but the Diamondbacks are bringing back Shelby Miller. It's a minor league deal. They invited him to Major League Camp, and there's some sources that say he'll earn $1 million if he makes the team. And has a chance to make another $750,000 in bonuses. If you remember, he was with the D-backs in 2016 to 2018, struggled. It was a big controversial trade with the Atlanta Braves. They received one of the biggest studs in this organization, and Dempsey Swanson. And Manuch just thought he was as good as Zach Greinke at the time.
I got to tell you what, I mean, he was coming off the All-Star game. He had a hell of a year the year prior, too. And he just basically fell off the map when he got here. But he was an all-star pitcher with the Cardinals the year before that. So Dansby Swanson went to Packin, and they brought in Shelby. And, that's one of those I had to eat a little crow on that one, Rock. A little barbecue sauce on that crow, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'll eat it. I made a mistake. You know, who would have thought a guy coming off an all-star year would fall flat on his face, literally, here with the Diamondbacks? Just could not get it together.
Next up, our G2G protein bar game changers from the weekend. Craig Fouey in 20 minutes. This is ESPN 620 98.7 HD2.
Whether your car has accident damage or you need some engine repair, calling Eclipse Auto Body and Repair is always a winning play. Custom paint and body work, brakes, oil changes, transmission repairs, and more. Eclipse does it all. They provide a premium level of service, and they work on both foreign and domestic models. Call Eclipse Auto Body at 602-486-8781 to schedule a service today. That's 602-486-8781 at eclipseautobody&repair.com.
Craving tacos? There's one spot in town that everyone can't stop talking about. The Taco Spot. With mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors and a modern twist. It's no wonder they're the local favorite.
The Taco Spot has the best tacos I've ever had.
With locations opening all over Arizona, satisfying your cravings has never been easier. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. Enjoy handmade tortillas and fresh made-to-order meals that will leave your taste buds dancing. The Taco Spot, where every bite is a fiesta.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here, and we're loving hearing from our fans that you love seeing us play. You love seeing the dunks, alley-oops, long shots, trick shots, the buzzer beaters, and all the cool tricks. And we can't wait to bring all our history and all the laughs. We're coming to Desert Diamond Arena on February 21st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And the Roc and Manuch Amber on tap. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber poured by Dos Equis. Arena Sports Grill open daily until 2 a.m. For their daily specials, head to arenasportsgrills.com. That's Arena Sports Grill in North Scottsdale.
I am so sorry I was late. I was at the retina specialist getting my first AMD treatment. I was worried that the injection would hurt. It was much better than I expected.
Did you go to the same retina specialist that I see for my diabetic retinopathy?
Yes, and I am so glad I didn't wait.
When your vision is at risk from retinal disease, you need the expertise of a retina specialist. If you experience blurred central vision, a curtain-like shadow in your vision, floaters, flashing lights, or wavy lines, see a retina specialist.
My doctor said I could use something called a biosimilar. Then she told me what it is.
A biosimilar is a type of biologic medication. Just like brand name drugs have generic versions, original biologics can have biosimilars.
So I asked what the benefits are and if they work the same.
Biosimilars have the same safety, effectiveness, and quality as the original biologic. They also offer more medication options at potentially more competitive prices.
My doctor said I could learn more at fda.gov/biosimilars.
Time for the G2G Protein Bar Play or Team of the Weekend. Did your favorite player make an incredible play or your team had a big upset? They probably know all about G2G Protein Bars, a refrigerated protein bar with unmatched taste, grab and go goodness. G2G Protein Bars are now available at Costco.
All right, I got two today. First, we'll start with the Four Nations face-off as they delivered a signature moment for the NHL on Saturday night as U.S. defeated Canada 3-1. It was a very hard-hitting game in Montreal, but it was the first 9 seconds that got everybody excited and everybody around the world talking about.
And the gloves are off. Hagel from Tampa Bay to Chuck from Florida. Did not see this coming. Both sides said they hoped it wouldn't happen tonight. It did. It's helped set the tone. Charlie McAvoy put one on net. Now we're 9 seconds in. We had a fight 2 seconds in, another one 1 second later. Now in the center of the action, it's Colt Parayko and JT Miller. This is like 1996 when this building opened up with the World Cup.
So that is my G2G protein game changer. Canada did play Finland today, and they won 5-3. So that will set up a rematch on Thursday in Boston.
Yeah.
So a good one there. That's going to be a very highly rated program. My other one is not someone that deserves the G2G protein bar. It's somebody that needs to start going to Costco and getting these refrigerated G2G bars. And that goes to the University of Illinois and their game ops people.
Yes.
As they were retiring Timberwolves rookie Terrence Shannon Jr. And they had him at midcourt at halftime to unveil the banner. And he pulled the banner and the banner dropped. And it was upside down.
Unbelievable.
So the AD, Josh Whitman, he apologized that the jersey was hung upside down. But that entire game ops, folks, that team there at the University of Illinois all need some G2G protein bars.
How does that happen?
I have no idea.
Don't they have a check, double check?
You would think so.
You would do a test.
You would do.
Especially when you're going to have a player, NBA player now for the Wolves, actually go through the process. To just test it would have taken literally a minute to test that. I mean, there's walkthroughs before these things.
Rock, do you think somebody actually just doesn't know what a jersey looks like? Thought, oh, wow, his name's below the number, and actually realized that it's actually that's how it goes for a jersey?
Well,
it could have been that.
It just shows that University of Illinois doesn't have a lot of retired guys because they would have done this before, right? You would think they've been through it. All right, Manuch.
My G2G protein bar game changers the weekend. I got a couple of guys. We're going to go to Wichita. Here the wrapping up of an upset in Wichita.
Right side of the floor. Cortez bounces to Beverly. On the right wing, Washington to the basket. In traffic, it hangs and goes in.
Yeah, that's Corey Washington as Wichita State gives them the lead 80-7 over Memphis. Got a couple guys here. Corey Washington with a great game. Quincy Ballard, scored 14 of his 19 points in the second half and overtime. As I mentioned, helped Wichita State. What a great win for the Wheat Shockers over the number 14 Memphis team, 84-79 in yesterday's game. Ballard also had 7 rebounds, 4 blocks on the day, and he was the driving force in overtime as the Wheat Shockers outscore Memphis 13-8 in overtime. It is the 4th straight and first over a ranked opponent by Wichita State in the regular season since 2021. Wheat Shockers had 5 players in double figures. And as I mentioned, Corey Washington also a double-double with 18 points and 15 rebounds. So those are my 2 G2G protein bar game changers.
Where do I start?
He's got a question for you.
Wheat Shockers?
Yeah.
Who the hell are the Wheat Shockers?
Wichita State. Shockers. Wheat Shockers.
Wheat
Shockers.
Yeah, Wheat Shockers. Wheat. Yeah. Shockers.
Okay. Wheat Shockers?
So he's called
or
back
just Shockers?
Well, they changed it to Shockers, but
yes, they have.
When in the 1800s?
No, we played them in my junior year at K-State. They were Wheat Shockers.
50 years ago.
Well, give or take. I call them the Wheat Shockers.
No, you don't. That's not the name
Shockers.
of them. If you're going to do a G2GT and you act like you know who this team is, you're giving them your G2G, which is a joke. You didn't watch the game. Oh, and you're bringing up this player's name like, he had a really
I did watch
big
the highlights
game.
of these
He
teams.
had 19 points in the second half.
He and Corey Washington balling out, man. But
there's no way you watch that game.
They will always be the Wheat Shockers to me.
No, they're not.
They're the Shockers.
All right, so they're the Shockers.
Didn't they used to be in baseball the Tampa Bay Devil Rays?
Well, that's fine. So we just call them the Rays.
But now they're
Wheat
just
Shockers.
they're just the Rays.
I don't think anybody said Wheat Shocker.
No.
Even somebody that went to school there doesn't even say Wheat Shocker.
So all habits are hard to break,
I think the bigger story is you're trying to act like you
I did
know
watch the
about
highlights
the
of this.
Wichita State team.
Yeah, well, the upset, Memphis is one of those big upsets over the weekends. I did watch the highlights. Yeah,
Okay.
So digging for those G2G
You were digging.
protein bar game charges.
You
I'm
were
looking,
digging.
watching the highlights.
My G2G protein bar goes to 6'1.5", maybe 6'2", Matt McClung, who wins the NBA Slam Dunk Championship not once, not twice, but 3 years in a row.
Gotta catch it first. Oh, God. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
There you go. He jumps over the car and dunks the basketball. Now, let me set this up, what took place. They drive a Kia, because Kia is a sponsor, out by the basket. It has a sunroof. A player comes up through the sunroof, holding up the basketball. McClung jumps over the roof of the car. You might remember many years ago, Blake Griffin, then playing for the Clippers, jumped over a car as well, but he jumped over the hood of the car. Matt McClung jumps over the top of the car, grabs the basketball, and slams it down with 2 hands. It was just spectacular. Every dunk that McClung had, he got a 50 score, which is the highest score that you could get. He's a two-way player for the Orlando Magic. He goes back and forth between the Magic and their G League team for the 3rd straight year in a row. It is Mac McClung, your NBA Slam Dunk Contest winner. He is my G2G protein bar game changer.
By the way,
Jax,
before you get to Jax, the collective, the Wheat Shock Collective is still being used at Wichita State. They call them the Wheat Shockers.
What do you mean?
They call it the Wheat Shocker Collective is a fan-led group that supports Wichita State University's student athletes. The purpose is to increase opportunities for student athletes through name, image, and likeness, NIL. So they do still go as a Wheat Shockers Collective. So just so you know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, the collective, baby, but the moniker of the school, that's
still in use. That's the thing.
If they're in your bracket for the NCAA tournament, you're not putting Wheat Shocker
at the Shockers, but the collective still be used. Moniker still used. I'm sorry, Jax. Go ahead.
Yeah, I only get like 2 minutes on the show anyway. So
he took half of it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go to West Lafayette, Indiana. I'm not going to praise a Boilermaker. I'm going to praise a Badger. John Tungy led the charge. Here's a highlight.
Max puts it on the deck, locks the dribble to the line, whips it inside. Tanjay slam dunk. Oh, great delivery to Tanjay. He has 25.
16 Wisconsin went into 7 Purdue, won 94-84, where they were led by 6-year senior guard John Tungy. This guy's a bucket. 32 points, 10 of 15 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 8 from 9 from the free throw line. Led the charge of the best shooting performance by a road team we've seen in 15 years. Get this, guys. The Badgers finished the game shooting 61.5% from the floor and had just 3 turnovers. They averaged 1.45 points per possession. It's the first time we've seen a Division I team shoot over 60% and had 3 turnovers or less on the road. Are you kidding me? In 15 seasons, they also were 20 of 22 from inside the three-point line. John Tungy is a bucket. Wisconsin's a team to watch out for. And John Tungy, you've earned my G2G protein.
You know what was interesting, what you just stated? 6th-year guard. 6 years guard.
That could be a normal thing in
I know.
college sports,
6
Jimmy.
years he's been playing.
Wish I'd had 6 years. That'd have been great.
I thought somebody would go with that kid who won the 3-point tournament.
They hit the bucket?
Who beat Damian Lillard in that 3-point shooting contest, won himself $10,000. How great was that? The kid just got his tickets on Saturday, which was
and he
super
just
cool.
grabbed the ball and slung it. You know, he had a good time.
This.
Get in the money. Jump in the money.
Jump in the money.
Jump in the money.
That is awesome.
He did.
Yeah, I love when an 18-year-old college kid could use the money. I mean, that's great. So, all right, coming up, Craig Fooey will join us for a little fact or Fooey. But next, here's Jax with another local sports update right here on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620 and on 98.7 HD2.
Yeah, the office phone.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's bottom of the hour ESPN 620 Sports Updates. I'm Jackson Groff. The Arizona Wildcats dropped 6 spots in the latest AP Top 25 men's basketball rankings that were released earlier today. Arizona 17-8 slid in the poll after suffering 2 losses last week, falling to Kansas State on Tuesday on the road and dropping a close game to Houston at home on Saturday. With just 6 conference games remaining, the Wildcats trail Houston by 2 games for the conference lead and are tied with Texas Tech. Houston climbed up to 5, though, after Saturday's win at the McHale Center and will face Arizona State tomorrow. Arizona is set to play at Baylor tonight at 8 p.m. before hosting BYU on Saturday. There are multiple ways to listen to us, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, on FM at 98.7 HD2, and always streaming live at the ArizonaSports.com. Also, check us out, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're everywhere, RocManuch.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's learning environments are designed for supportive networking and collaboration. With over 330 academic programs, GCU provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu. I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe, it's the way to go. On 977-1900. 977-1900.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
The President's Day weekend sale is here at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf with deals in every department like 15% off all demo and used clubs, green tag apparel, buy 2 and get 1 free, and prior gen Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X now $49.99. Swing into Vans Golf Shops for the President's Day weekend sale or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Proudly serving golfers since 1963 and home to our legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Looking to take your career to the next level? Arizona's largest law enforcement agency is hiring detention officers right now. Play a critical role in protecting public safety with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office and gain experience that could lead to careers in leadership or as a recruit training officer. Discover competitive compensation and unlimited potential at jobs.mcso.org. Honor the law, serve the people. Apply today by visiting jobs.mcso.org. Sponsored by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
It's time for Fact or Phooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Phooey. Phooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Phooey.
How's the arm, Phooey? You're out at D-backs today. Did you get to throw a little?
It's interesting. For the first time in years, Torrey didn't ask me to take any bullpens. So,
oh, really? Okay.
I think they feel like they've got a good pitching staff this year.
I think we would all agree, at least right now on paper. Jeez, it looks great. And it's great, right? Shelby Miller being back. I mean, that's Manuch's favorite player. He couldn't wait to announce that.
Can we get Dansby Swanson in that deal?
Yes.
Can we get him to come back?
Oh, what a
I might have missed on that one, Coach.
That's got to be up there with one of the worst moves ever in Diamondbacks history.
Yeah, I think it's right on the top. I think it's at the top. So,
yeah.
All right, let's get to it. He's ABC 15's Craig Phooey here on ESPN 620. All right, first question. The NBA All-Star Game format was another flop and needs to have a USA versus the world All-Star Game. Fact or Phooey?
Well, fact. I mean, listen, if you looked at the U.S. versus Canada hockey game the other night, it was incredible.
Yep,
right. It was incredible. And that just killed the NBA over the weekend. I mean, the NBA, listen, I'm not a fan favorite of All-Star games anyway. They're playing flag football in the NFL Pro Bowl. We're playing 5-on-5 little mini games against the rising stars and seeing who can win. I mean, it's a joke right now. And the best thing about that was the fact that a G leaguer won the slam dunk contest. There's no reason to watch those things. Major League Baseball at least has a little bit more fun with theirs in terms of guys getting out there for half an inning or so. But All-Star games are just about getting the best players in the same market for a few days and then getting the TV ratings out of it. But it sucks.
A couple things, Coach. There wasn't any difference to it. They only played to 40. That was probably the only difference. Right. And then if it was the USA versus the world, watch out. All those outstanding Euros and non-domestic players might beat the U.S. All-Stars. I mean, who knows?
No, I think they would, but who cares? I mean, they don't care, right? They don't give two hoots about it. So it's just about going out there and hanging out with their friends and having some dinner and drinks. So it's just not fun anymore. And years ago it was kind of cool, but listen, the entire NBA is down anyway in the ratings. And so they've lost a lot of interest this last couple of years.
All right, Coach, question number 2, the Suns will have to win at least half or 14 of their last 28 games in order. Oh man, this hurts to say, Coach, to make the play-in tournament, at least half, at least 14 to make the play-in tournament. Fact or Phooey?
They're 26 and 28. I've been saying for weeks now they're a 500 club. They're not even that. They're 481. I mean, listen, they're 2 games below 500. They've lost 3 in a row. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They're minus in their point differential. They're minus 1.8. This team is not good. How many more years do we have to see this experiment fail before somebody decides to implode the whole thing and start over? This Suns team is struggling mightily. And so are they going to have to win yes, they're going to have to win a bunch of games to try and even get in there. And even if they do get into the play-in, are they going to be any good? Are they going to lose that? I mean, I just have zero faith in this team, and no matter what they try, it doesn't work. So they tried coaches, they've tried different backup players, bench guys. Nothing seems to work for this team. There's something missing, and I'm going to say it over and over again. It's chemistry. I just don't see any chemistry on this team.
I'm riding with you on that one, Coach. All right, let's go to number 3. Suns general manager James Jones is already, keyword, already trying to figure out how this team will be assembled next year. Fact or phooey?
Fact. He's been working on that for 2 years. they backed themselves in a corner with this second apron, right? It came in this season. They backed themselves in a corner. Matt Ishbia put all his chips in the middle of the table. He went with all in with Durant, Beal, and Booker, and it doesn't work. So now what do? Well, you don't have many options, right? It's just a tough situation for them. And I'm trying to think of an analogy that would make sense, but there aren't any. They have no place to go. And so unless you trade Kevin Durant this summer, unless you make some big moves, I would say even Devin Booker is probably up for grabs here if they want to try and change this thing. Bradley Beal's got the no trade clause. That was a big mistake taking that on. My take on this is that James Jones will ultimately be the fall guy in this whole thing, even though Matt Ishbia is pulling all the strings.
I mean, I hate to say this, Coach, but you just touched on it. You would get more for Booker than you would for Durant.
He's younger. Yeah. Absolutely. And Devin Booker hasn't lived up to expectations this year. Certainly the coaching change hasn't lived up to expectations this year. I mean, you can point at any number of things. No leadership on the team. They brought in a couple of point guards that had some experience. Tyus Jones thought, man, this guy's pretty good coming in. That hasn't made a difference. I mean, nothing that they do seems to make a difference. They moved the Mercury out of their practice facility. That didn't make a difference. You know, I mean, they didn't have to share anymore with anybody. So nothing seems to make a difference with this team. And here we are again, just laying eggs.
All right, number 4, it looks like it could be the end of Bobby Hurley at ASU. Fact or phooey?
Yeah, fact. I think so. Listen, it's been tough, and I know Graham Rossini came out last week and said he's our coach, and we're trying to do our best for the men's and women's programs. But let's face it, both the men's and women's programs at ASU are terrible. 3-11, whatever they are now, ASU men. The women are worse. 2 wins in Big 12 play. Things aren't going well, and I brought this up last night on our show. How much of it is Bobby Hurley? How much is Desert Financial Arena? That place is a pit right now. Nobody wants to come here and do that. The transfer portal isn't helping because the more you lose, the more kids want to leave. They were behind in NIL getting that cranked up, and Kenny came in and kind of got that going for them. And so that's tried to carry over now to basketball and baseball. But it's a mess right now. I think Bobby's a great recruiter. I think he's a good person in terms of basketball knowledge and what he does. But it looks like 5 guys that showed up at the gym and started playing basketball together for the first time.
What do you think happened? Did you guys ever find out why the players didn't want Bobby in the locker room afterwards? I mean, maybe they had their moment, whatever, but he was very nonchalant about it. Rock brought very nonchalant about it, as I listened to it as well, too, about them not wanting him in there. I mean, I went, wait a second. You're the head coach.
There's nothing you can say, right? Yeah. What are you going to tell us now? What are you going to say now? We've lost how many straight, right? 6 straight home games, 5 straight losses. What are you going to tell us? They've lost 10 of the last 12?
Yes.
I mean, what are you going to say to us, Coach? I mean, what can you tell us that we don't already know? I mean, they see social media, they hear radio, they watch TV, they see all this stuff on ESPN. They're no good. I mean, they're just not good. And so no matter what you do, you've got to make a change, and they've got to do something with that arena they play in. They've got to do something with their practice facility. I know that's newer, but that needs an upgrade. And they've got to find someone that maybe is a little younger, more like a Kenny Dillingham kind of guy that's all in on NIL. And I know Bobby's jumped in on it this year, heart and soul. But it's just not working right now. And I think he's very well respected in basketball circles, he and his brother, but it's not working. Let's be honest. Has Arizona State ever been known as a basketball school?
Never.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
No, it never really has. All right, Coach, last one. Diamondback fans can expect at least a wild card berth, if not a division title, solely for the fact that one of the best staffs or starting rotations in all of Major League Baseball. Fact or phooey?
Fact. I think it's solid. Listen, when you go Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, you've got Brandon Pfaadt still there. You've got Drew Jameson coming back off his injury. They've got some arms now, and it's going to be some tough decisions, And Torrey talked about it after practice today. He said, we were walking off the practice field, and they said, man, we got some tough decisions on this pitching staff. And then he looked at his coaches, and he go, we got tough decisions at about every position to see who's playing, because they get a lot of competition. Guys are coming back with a chip on their shoulder. So it should be fun. I think it's going to be a fun season, and I think we can expect at least a wild card berth.
All right, Phil, I'm going to put you on the spot. You all right? You're okay with that?
Yeah. I'm good on the spot.
So there's some rumblings from Diamondbacks president Derek Hall that there could be anywhere from 15 to 20 games on over-the-air stations here in Phoenix. And you got ABC 15, you got the CW 61. How would you feel as a sports director to have 15, 20 D-back games on one of your networks?
I would absolutely love it. And I can tell you that after Derek talked this morning, he and Ken, I grabbed Derek and walked back to the clubhouse with him. And I said, tell me ABC 15 is in the mix. And he looked at me and said, you guys are in the mix.
Yes.
Said,
good to hear.
That's what I wanted to hear. So it's coming down to a couple of stations, it sounds like. And at this point, we're in the mix to maybe pick up those games. And so that's all I know at this point, other than we are in the mix. And so I'm hoping that the powers that be, way up above my pay grade for sure, and clearance. I hope they're able to pull something together. And but they really want this to happen, and they want it to be on over the air. So they want to get it on either ABC 15 or one of the other TV stations. That you don't have to have cable, you don't have to have direct TV or dish or any of that stuff. You can just get it on your TV, right? Even with an indoor antenna. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 15 or 20, so maybe it's a game a week, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
and you could have some fun marketing that,
Derek was talking about that. Maybe it's a game of the week. Maybe it's a special game, a Saturday game or whatever, right?
So
we love it.
And if that happens, we want to be first in line because I know there's going to be some tickets that are involved in that package. So some lower level, behind home plate tickets for your friends here, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. So just don't forget us little guys, all right?
Rock, I can tell you this, and this is in the last 10 to 15 years. There have been no tickets to any game or any contest that's trickled down to the sports office. I can tell you that. Sales is first.
Yeah,
you know that, Rock.
Yeah, I know. It's the sales guys. They got the nice cars. Yes.
Yeah, it's like there's not a ticket that's come into this sports office.
That's so true. Fooey, thank
certainly
you.
Since the Coyotes left.
Yes, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Craig Fooey, ABC 15. Yeah, so there's a report in AZ Central this morning from Nick Pecoro about the Diamondbacks shopping it and trying to get some, games 15 to 20. Currently, right now, Cox 34, and then DirecTV, the D-backs, subscription, on MLB. So, that's going to be cool. So those games will be over the air, and they'll also be simulcast on the regular.
It's worked great for the Suns. Yeah. Suns have capitalized on that. Terrific.
Oh yeah, it's a great move. I think everybody would love to see that. So it was good that I kind of put him on the spot.
Yeah, I like that.
And then he was right there.
They're in the hunt. They're in the hunt. That's for sure.
All right, he is brought to you today by the Taco Spot. The Taco Spot with locations throughout Arizona, down in Tucson and Casa Grande. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. For a location near you, head to tacospotaz.com. Well, coming up, so who is responsible for nachos at a football stadium? And the Chiefs, they have set a deadline for Travis Kelce's future with the team. This is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD2.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. # sexy roof status. At State 48 Roofing, we are family owned and operated, born and raised in Arizona. We'd love to give back to our schools and community. Contact us at state48roofing.com. What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. # sexy roof status. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me? Free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
There's going to be a lot more games that tickets get to that price. So if you want to be a part of them, you better buy season tickets. You better do it right now. You better sell it out because we're going to have a lot more games where this state wants to show up to. Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? It's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Get ready, Scottsdale. On March 15th, the Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival comes to the Scottsdale Civic Center. Sip and savor from more than 40 celebrity wines and spirits while enjoying live appearances from legends like Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Neil Giraldo, star of the TV series Criminal Minds, Joe Mantegna, WWE's Brie Garcia, NBA All-Star Tom Chambers, and more. VIP tickets for early access, private lounge, and more at civiccenterlive.org. It's the Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I
was in a wreck. I need a check.
I
was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe, it's the way to go. On 977-1900. 977-1900.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on their new home, ESPN 620.
Does it kick in? Come on, little cars doesn't kick in, Connor.
I'm waiting for it.
You know, I was listening to it when it came through.
No,
I never did get to that game.
the whole time. Wow,
I'm waiting for the song.
This little intro. This is as bad as the game ops University of Illinois with the upside down
jersey.
You know, just to go back to that real quick, did anybody notice how when they put that sign out, the font and lettering and everything was still correct? It was just the jersey graphic that was actually upside down.
Yeah.
I don't know how you missed that.
Yeah, that's just wrong. All right, fill in the blank. The blank were the first NFL team to make nachos popular at their stadium.
I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
I'm going to go the San Francisco 49ers.
Connor?
I'm going to say the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. So you're thinking that nachos are fairly recent?
Yeah.
I just think,
or you want to
down...
try again?
Did you ever hear of the Houston Oilers?
Yeah. Okay, the Houston Oilers.
Yes.
That's a better way we can put it. I just think the down south teams probably had the nachos come in first.
Yeah, all right. Well, you guys are right there. Other than Jimmy B, Howard Cosell, ate them and then talked about them during Monday Night Football in a game in 1978, and it was the Dallas Cowboys.
How about that? Yeah.
Wow.
That's your random fact of the day. The Chiefs Football 50 brought to you by Twin Peaks. And tomorrow, by the way, Twin Peaks, it's National Drink Wine Day tomorrow. And at Twin Peaks, enjoy half-price wine by the glass. And you can pair these perfect pours with their scratch-made food while enjoying the ultimate lodge experience. So prices start at $5. That's National Drink Wine Day at Twin Peaks. So I know he probably drinks wine now that he's dating Taylor Swift. So Kelsey the Chiefs have given him the deadline. Have given him a deadline on which he needs to make a decision about his future with the NFL. And according to The Athletic, the Chiefs have told him that they want to know by mid-March if he's planning to return next season or hang up his cleats. So if we were going to start a board Is he coming or is he going?
Oh, man. And I think it's very fair for the Chiefs to say, hey, mid-March, we need to know to start preparing for either free agency tight end, draft tight end, whatever it's going to be. I don't know. I mean, what more is there for him to do? He's got Super Bowl rings.
He's done everything.
Made a bunch of dough. He's got a great podcast. My gut says Travis Kelce's moving on.
My gut tells me that he is going to have a conversation with Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes is going to say, dude, you can still really play. Why walk away? And I think he's back for one more year.
I think if he feels he can, I think he will. That could be very productive. It just matters, does he want to go through all that again? He's played how many extra games? He talked about it last week.
Yeah.
What, 35, 40 extra games?
He's played 12 years.
Yeah, he's played a long time. And if you still feel motivated, you want to go through all you need to go through in the offseason and have that enthusiasm about the season, that's one thing. But if any of his enthusiasm or wanting to go work has waned whatsoever, I would say do yourself a favor and call it a career, because you got to have that year in and year out. And a lot of guys that have played for many, many years say, hey, look, it was tough for me to get up and go do those 2 miles in the morning and then go lift and then go do my other workouts. I mean, you got to want to get up and do that all the time. And so many guys, time after time, unless there's an injury involved, will just probably move on because the knees aren't working right, or shoulder or neck or whatever it is. But they just feel like, you know what, it's a struggle for me. If it's a struggle, then retire. Do yourself a favor and retire.
My guess is if the Chiefs were going to force him to decide right now, he would say no. Giving him a month to kind of see how his body is recovering,
healing
from another deep playoff run. But I also think he's just going to have a heart-to-heart, not with Patrick Mahomes, but his brother Jason.
Sure,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Look at how big Jason has become.
Yes,
a lot of people didn't even know who he was until he retired.
That's true.
Unless you're a Philly fan,
and he's making a lot of money.
He's making right millions and millions and millions, and he is a superstar. And his brother will be even bigger superstar because people know who Travis is, and with the Taylor Swift factor, the Swifties, oh man, you could probably add another 10 million.
Oh,
a year.
easy, yeah.
How much impact do you think she might have on it?
Well, he might ask her for her opinion. I mean, she might just say, "Look, you play as long as you want." I mean, she might be, "Hey, we're still together. You play. You make the decision." I think a lot of folks, he can probably talk to his brother and Mahomes and Taylor and all those people. Ultimately, it's up to him to say, "Hey, I have the desire, that Super Bowl, you kind of right that make that wrong a right. If I feel like I can do that." The guy's still productive. I mean, this year he was. How does he get open all the time?
He does.
He just looked in this game. He just looked a little out of sorts, as did the entire team. But there was that one pass slightly behind him. He didn't drop. The other one was low. He looked a little more discouraged to me. Maybe he's just frustrated with this defense that the Eagles threw at him. So I think at this point, maybe he says, "Hey, I've recharged my mental facilities. I've recharged my physical faculties, and I'm ready to go." So if he is ready to go, truly bought in, then I think he goes to camp.
Obviously, I don't know him personally, Travis, but I would guess that he's been doing something all his life one way.
Sure.
And if he's going to retire, I think, with Taylor, they have a pretty good relationship, it sounds like right now, because of the circumstances. He has his job. She's out there traveling all the time. They probably really only see each other once in a while. The relationship's probably really good because of that. You see scenarios in day to day where somebody retires and now they're home with their wife,
driving the wife nuts,
driving her nuts, and vice versa. The wife driving, and vice versa, right? So there is that part of it. And again, we don't know Travis personally. We don't know how he is. Maybe he wants that. He wants to be on the road with her and go to her concerts and hang out with all the 15-year-olds, the fans, and support the selfies.
But to your point, right, he'll have a whole new life of his own. I mean, TV, podcasts, commercials.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're probably right.
He's only 35.
He'll have a whole new life. I mean, you think about it, only 35 years old. and you're going to start your second career, or your, what they call it, your life's work. Remember Chuck Noll, former head coach of the Steelers, said, look, play this game as long as you can, and then go do your life's work. And you look at life's work, what are you going to do the rest of your life? What do you want to do to impact? And look at J.J. Watt. He said he had a difficult decision, but when he said, hey, look, the injuries, the toiling every day to get ready, and then he goes, I had all this other stuff on the side. He now says, best thing he ever did. He's got broadcasting. He's got his charities. He's got all kinds of things he's doing that fulfills or scratches that itch of waking up in the morning going, oh, I got to do these 4 or 5 things. Well, you find 4 or 5 other things than just working out morning, noon, and night. And it's kind of hard to go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do today? But after a while, you probably get used to all your other stuff to fill those voids. And I quite frankly, if he feels he wants to come back and do it all again, more power to him. But my gut is, I just think that he's done. He felt he's done enough. He's going to move on.
Yeah, I think the sooner the better, so the Chiefs can decide if they need to draft a tight end.
Or go after somebody in free agency, draft, whatever. I mean, there's a lot with this offense. I mean, he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. You think of him and Gronk and him, and you think of Gonzalez when he was
Tony Gonzalez
when he was there. The great career. So they've had a good run of tight ends with the Kansas City Chiefs.
And he's proven that he can play. I mean, at 35 years old,
absolutely.
I mean, his numbers were down this year. His touchdowns, his yards, catches, and all that were down. However, they still got to the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think he's going to retire just because his brother. I think it's because of his brother.
Sure.
And the opportunities he's going to have.
He was very productive in the red zone, short yardage. I mean, there's many times in third down pass plays he was open. Down inside the red zone, he was open, touchdowns. But I think because of, to your point, him falling off a little bit, I think we saw the offense fall off a little bit this year as well too. Not quite the productivity, and to see them win the games they won, blocked field goal, missed field goal, and the defense had to step up many a time to help carry that offense. Imagine that.
Hey,
defense carrying the Chief offense.
One more football story. 2025 has been tough for Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. This morning in the Baltimore Banner, they released another report with 7 more massage therapists with similar
7 more
allegations. Oh, so I don't know what that number takes it up to, but this is very similar to that one quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, huh?
Deshaun Watson.
Jeez. Baseball is where we are going to turn our attention to, as Jerry Harrison Jr. will join us, and we will talk about the LA Dodgers. As for the second year in a row, the Dodgers MLB odds have the highest preseason win total for any Major League Baseball team since the Yankees had a win total of 104.5 in 1999. Last year was 103.5. This year it's 104.5.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
At the UPS store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS store. Be unstoppable.
The clock is ticking. The Sanders and Ford 48-hour President's Day sale ends today. In celebration of Arizona being the 48th state of the Union, and Ford trucks being #1 in sales in Arizona and across the country for 48 straight years, Sanders and Ford is having a 48-hour only sale on over 800 new and pre-owned vehicles, many with savings of $4,800 or more.
Save $4,800 on 2024 Bronco Sport Badlands. Plus, get an additional $480 Visa gift card with every new vehicle purchase or lease.
These offers with additional 48-hour only sale discounts are valid Thursday, February 13th through Monday, President's Day. Sanderson is always closed on Sunday, so shop the 48-hour only sale with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense. Don't let time run out on the Sanderson Ford 48-hour President's Day sale.
Bronco offer includes $1,000 RBC, $1,750 RCC cash, and $1,000 Jeep Open Conquest cash you must qualify for. Visa gift card not valid on AXC or D plans or Raptor, Tremor trucks, and specialty vehicles.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At White Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WhiteToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal
Hey,
replacement.
Connor.
Whether you're hustling,
Let's re-rack
enjoying
the sounds of the day. That whole segment. We'll just re-rack it, just replay it.
Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick,
Just replay that whole segment. Yeah.
G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620.
I thought it was great. 15 to 20 pitches, something like that. Just kind of seeing his delivery, which was really good. The clean arm stroke. I think he was just fastballs, 4-seamers, 2-seamers. Gosh, the velocity, the ball was coming out really good. So it's, I think he seemed pretty pleased with it. And the command was really good, ball coming out good. So really positive day for Shohei.
That's Dodgers skipper Dave Roberts talking about Shohei Ohtani's return to the mound. As I know, a lot of people are excited to see that, even non-Dodger fans, just to see a two-way player, after a DH-only campaign last year for a Dodger team, and, of course, won the World Series. As I mentioned, going to break, the MLB odds have him at 104.5, and that is the highest since the 99 Yankees. And last year, the win total was 103.5. So that was big for them to have that. And I think a lot of people expect them to do the same this year, as they have a great pitching staff, very similar to the Diamondbacks. But this World Series that they won, if you look at their regular season, full of injuries from top to bottom, the lineup, the starting rotation, they had a lot of adversity to overcome for them to be World Series champions. And if you remember in that San Diego series in the early on in the playoffs, they were down, a game. So it could have definitely gone another direction. But I know the expectations are for them to storm back again with this dominating pitching and basically re-rack the Dodgers for another year. So we're going to hopefully catch up with Gary Harrison Jr. But if you go back to that World Series, how great it was with Freddie Freeman and that walk-off grand slam in Game 1. Wow. I mean, that was just unbelievable. And, Yankees, Dodgers, I mean, this is something that you hope for. Even if you don't like these two teams, it was a great World Series to watch.
It's interesting. You hear all the sports talk shows on a Saturday afternoon. I'm driving home, and they're all talking about the bullpen session of Shohei Ohtani. Said the most viewed bullpen session probably of all time out there at Camelback Ranch. They said everybody, anybody, and then some. A bullpen session, basically what they were looking forward to, and it sounded as Dave Roberts has said he was bringing the
he's a World Series champion. He is the Dodgers TV analyst for Spectrum Sports Net. Jerry Harrison Jr. now on ESPN 620. How we doing, Jerry? What's going on, man? What's going on, Jerry?
Hey, guys. What's going on? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So, Shohei Ohtani is going to return to the mound. Is there a bigger story than that?
I mean, I tell you what, he is the best athlete in the world right now.
Yeah.
Especially when he takes them out. You know, he, without question, 50-50 last year, 50 homers, 50 stolen bases in his very first year with the Dodgers, helped lead us to a world championship. And now we get a chance to see him really, a lot of people forget how dominant he is on the mound as a starting pitcher. He will not start the season in the rotation. They're going to kind of slow play him throughout spring training, but he's supposed to be in the rotation sometime in mid to late May.
So when you say slow play him, what do you expect? Do you see him to just get some innings once in a while, or just kind of wait until it's time?
No, what he would do is he would pitch in some simulated games sometime in April.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll do 3 or 4 starts in April, maybe a couple more in May. What I mean by simulated starts is it's almost like a live batting practice session with some big leaguers, some guys will take extra bats before the game, and he will simulate games on the mound. You know, he'll have what we call up downs, where he'll simulate, the first probably outing, he'll throw 2 innings. A week later, he'll throw 3 innings and kind of build him up for 5, 6, and then 7 innings. And then once he feels great, whether it's early May, mid-May, late May, that's when he'll start. And when I say slow play, we got to make sure he hasn't pitched in over a year and a half.
Right.
So we want to make sure he's fresh and strong for the second half of the season.
Jerry, the reports coming out that the most viewed bullpen session ever in spring training over the last many years. And as we heard Dave Roberts talking about the session itself, the anticipation of that, what really surprised you, not only about all the people out there watching, but surprised you about him throwing the baseball?
Well, it was the most viewed bullpen session in over, I think, 15 years. The last one was CC Sabathia versus Jerry Harrison Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Right before the World Series.
I remember that, yes.
I think it broke the interweb back then.
That's right.
Make no mistake about it. The Big Show is just that. He is the Big Show. Everybody wants to see him. And listen, right now, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best athletes on the planet, but I think the best athlete in the world right now is Shohei Ohtani. No disrespect to Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, all the great athletes worldwide, but there's nothing like Shohei Ohtani. Guy throws the ball 100 miles an hour, hits the ball 500 feet, and he runs like a deer. So there's a reason why it was the most viewed bullpen session in quite some time.
What was the best pickup this offseason for him?
Oh, that is a great question and a tough one for me to answer, because all of them are great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get a Tanner Scott away from the San Diego Padres, who's a closer. He was actually Ohtani's kryptonite. I think Ohtani lifetime is like 1 for 10 with like 8 strikeouts.
Oh, wow.
He's now our closer, left-handed stud. We get Blake Snell, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Mm-hmm. He's still in his prime, and I think he's got 4 or 5 prime years left in him. We re-signed Teoscar Hernandez, who we had to have. And then I think we have the best young pitcher outside of Paul Skeens in Roki Sasaki. You know, he's a stud coming over for Japan. So I think all the moves really solidified the Dodgers, not just for this year, but for years to come.
Jerry, are the Dodgers going to get the same moniker as the hatred like the New York Yankees or the Boston Red Sox? The Dodgers haven't won in recent history like those teams had, but they do have the enormous payroll. And is that going to finally turn the tide and make the Dodgers the most hated team in Major League Baseball?
How can anybody hate the Dodgers? Are you kidding me? I mean, a beautiful uniforms, the white and the blue.
Uh-huh.
It's the most beautiful uniforms, in my opinion, in all of sports. Good-looking guys, too, with Dickie Fats, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani. I don't understand all the hatred.
Man, look at you.
I think they're the most liked team in all of sports.
And where did you get your World Series ring? Wasn't it the Yankees?
Yes. My back is still hurting. I'm on the golf course right now. I'm taking a little break talking to you guys. My back is still hurting from carrying the Yankees to a championship all those years. It's my story, and I'm going to stick with it. But the Dodgers also, the players, have helped carry me to 2 championships. So I got my 3rd ring coming up. One with the Yankees, with Derek and Mo and those guys, A-Rod carrying me. And then now you got Mookie, Shohei, and Freddie carrying me to to championship rings as a broadcaster. This will be my third ring.
Speaking of Mookie, are they serious about moving him to shortstop and moving the kid over there to second base? I know that Mookie's going to hit no matter where he plays, but some of the new faces that you have, they're going to have are they looking to start Kim at second base, that young guy?
Yeah, listen, I saw Kim. He looks like a natural second baseman, great athlete. He's going to make the smooth transition. He's got some pop in his bat. Velocity, he'll make the adjustment. Mookie Betts, I got a chance to see him work about a month ago at shortstop. He looks smooth. He's worked really hard. I think he'll make that transition.
Jerry,
guys are calling me over there. I got to hit my next shot, so just let me know.
Go ahead.
I'm playing in a golf tournament.
All right, go ahead. We will go.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry.
We'll wait.
Feel the love.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
But as it's a scramble, somebody can hit for you. I mean, right? Hey, real quick. The prospects, the Dodgers consistently rank among baseball's best, the best farm system. They continue to be up there. This pipeline continues to just one year after another, they continue to grow. We talk dynasty a lot in sports. Of course, what we just saw with the Chiefs and then the Eagles winning. What is it going to take for us to start talking about the dynasty with the Dodgers? Is it going to be a winning one this year, or would you say the talk has already started?
About the win, I think you got to win 2 more to talk dynasty.
Okay,
winning
3?
1 ain't going to cover it.
Okay,
yeah, they got to win at least 3. So let's not even talk about dynasty now. They got to at least win 2 more, then we can start talking about a dynasty.
All right, we're going to let you go because I know golf is so important to you, and the season's getting started. So you're going to play less, so we'll let you get back to your tournament, and we appreciate you giving us a few minutes today, buddy. Thank you.
Anytime you guys want me to say, Roger.
Okay.
How would he say? He got cut off.
I know he did. That's why I said okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Whatever he said, yes.
Whatever he said, okay.
His phone just dropped right when he was about to say he'll come on anytime, but, But this Dodger organization, they have so much money, first of all. We know that.
Yes.
But they are, it seems like they, somehow it seems that as quickly as these prospects are traded away, they have new ones that emerge, and they're all good in their pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I know D-backs, same thing. D-backs have had a lot of success in their farm system too. But I do think, is everybody in the division playing for second?
I would think so at this point. San Diego, if they can run it back like they did last year. San Diego and the Diamondbacks, they got a fighting chance. But God, you're right, Rock. You'll get this lineup.
You're not considering the Giants in this at all. We know the Rockies are out, but the Giants should be somewhat included.
Big moves that move the needle with them one way or the other in the offseason. But I think it's the Dodgers to lose. But if the D-backs are there and San Diego is there to push them. But these guys are just loaded. And to your point, Rock, they just continue because their organization's so solid as far as the Dodger way, bringing these guys up that when they get to the big league ball club, they're pretty much aware of where they are. And they're not going to put those guys in the lineup unless they feel they're completely ready to enhance and bring some kind of productivity to this team.
What is it with the Rockies? Every year we talk about they're going to be in the bottom, no matter what.
Yep.
If you're from Denver, it's a great sports market.
Yep.
If you're from Denver, I don't know how are you a fan of them? It just seems as though they don't do anything to improve themselves in the offseason. They don't make a splash. It's like the ownership, it's just a write-off.
And it might be.
Playing the game.
It might be.
They'll win 70, 80 games. And that's
that.
Sure.
And it's a write-off.
Was it? Was it 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago? They were really good, and they were going consistently to the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, it was just like they pulled the plug, and that was it.
Well, I think when Arenado was traded, they started. I think it was a sign that they were moving on, dumping contracts, trading contracts. It was when Don Baylor was a skipper, starting off way back, that they had that. But I know when I go visit my kids and grandkids in Denver, it's about, okay, who's coming in town to go see the Rockies?
Yeah.
Now, they love the experience of going downtown, beautiful facility.
Right.
All the amenities down there, but are the Diamondbacks coming in town? Are the Cardinals coming in town? A lot of it is that, but you got their diehard, maybe, 5 to 8, 10,000 fans that are Rocky fans that are part of the team from yesteryear. They moved that
61 and 101 last year.
Yeah.
they've had 2 straight 100-plus losses. They finished 5th in the National League West for 3 consecutive years. Things are unlikely to change this year. I would like them to be good. I would like everybody in the division to be good.
I know that it's just the lack of commitment from ownership. As I mentioned, when Arenado got let go and several other guys got let go, and you just sit there not looking to build, they're cutting. But what are you bringing up in the organization? The young guys that brought up have done fairly well, but you're just not going to translate by winning all rookies and all some of the trades they've had.
I bet if we were able to tell everybody you can't look at your phone, name 3 players, 2 players for the Rockies.
Oh, man.
Well, Blackman's the only one he may have retired.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's retired.
Charlie Blackman.
I mean,
I was within a year.
Chris Bryant, the DH. I mean, Brandon Doyle. They really don't have any.
The only reason Chris Bryant was because he was a Chicago Cub and then went to the Giants on a big contract, and now he's in Colorado.
All right, coming up, I should say, the Canadian fans, they booed the U.S. anthem. We know that. Then multiple fights break out between the players. We're gonna play some of that for part of our Sounds of the Weekend as we continue from the studios of ESPN 620. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's learning environments are designed for supportive networking and collaboration. With over 330 academic programs, GCU provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
As you age, you may have questions about finding transportation, healthy meals, or other services around your home and in your community. And the Elder Care Locator has the answers at 1-800-677-1116. Our caring advisors can connect you to trustworthy local experts and the support you need to age well at home. Real people, real assistance, and real connections are just a phone call away with the Elder Care Locator. 1-800-677-1116.
When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina. Because dancing makes me happy. I get to entertain people, and nothing makes me feel more like me.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Olivia a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a great team to put on a show. It also takes a great team of caring people to keep a dream alive. And now my dreams are coming true.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Hey, Max, you look sharp in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world as a guide dog?
You bet, Daisy. And your purple service dog vest really pops against your shiny fur.
First day on the job for both of us. We've got this, right?
You bet. Dogs Inc. trained us well.
Ready to make a difference for our humans?
Born ready.
Discover how extraordinary guide and service dogs change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
It's time for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you their top plays and sounds of the weekend on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD2.
He clears. A minute and a half to go. JT Miller races off. They get Getzlaw in the red, white, and blue. Faber, empty net, center ice, Larkin. Has Gensel with them. Jake Gensel scores! And the United States leads 3-1 with 1:19 to go.
Done all game. Gets the upper hand, and here's the play they think, oh boy, that's going to be close. Larkin throws it across to Gensel. It looks like it's going to slide. The 2 goal scorers, Larkin and Gensel, combined for the empty netter. So Gensel's got a pair.
How about Gensel? He gets 2 for Team USA as they beat Canada on Saturday, and they will wait to hopefully play them again. And they were up 4-0 in the second period today, I believe, over Finland. I think they're playing.
Correct.
And correct. I sound like Jimmy.
Short and sweet. Pardon the pun. Pardon the pun.
Well, the short is correct. Not so sweet.
So, what an interesting night as USA and Canada, they played each other. It's the 4 nations face-off. 3 fights break out in the first 9 seconds of the game. And before that, the Canadian crowd booed the U.S. national anthem. We had talked about that last week, that was going on. It was also going on in the NHL, of course, when the new president took over on the tariffs, and the Canadians just had some problems with it. And they made themselves loud the other night there in Montreal. At least now it'll go to Boston for Thursday in the championship. So I am curious. We all know the massholes and how they do stuff. They may may have some fun when they play the Canadian national anthem.
I'm sure. You know, these three breakout fights seemed like so predetermined. It was kind of like, all right,
they were set.
Yeah. It kind of set the tones. Like, oh wow, it's on. I mean, I loved it. It was like, this will be great theater for the entire game.
So I'm watching it at a bar with a bunch of hockey guys, and I'm not gonna lie. I've since changed my way of looking at it. I was actually pissed off that hockey had an opportunity to showcase themselves, and what do? They have fights in the first 9 seconds. Okay, that was my initial thought process. After it sank in, I did a total 180, and I was like, "Heck yeah, let's get into some slap shot, right?" So, but and also because I understood that they were getting at it because of the national anthem, the booing by the Canadians, but that wasn't the reason for the fights. And you're going to hear the reasons for the fights because many of you don't know why they fought and why the Kachuk brothers got into it. But first, we're just going to take you back because it's our Sounds of the Weekend. And here is the national anthem getting booed. We won't play the whole thing, but we'll play most of it. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm not trying to be rude to cut off the national anthem. All right. That's why I'm saying that. But in effort of time, we will slowly bring it down. But behind closed doors, Connor will play the song out so no one gets offended and we don't get emails. All right. So here is the American national anthem being booed loudly at Bell Center in Canada. All right, so we'll let that play out. But I got really upset when that happened because we had the sound on in the bar and it was loud and everybody was getting into it. And you could, and we had some Canadians in there and wearing their sweaters, and a lot of people were flipping them off, because it's just rude. I don't care how you slice it or dice it; it's rude.
Well, it's sad. It's become a sad state of affairs that's something like this. I think what they're just upset, not only the terrorists, but also Trump asked them to be the 51st state in the nation. By the way, there's provinces. It'd be a country. So, what state are you going to pick? Is it Ontario? What state are you looking for?
Manitoba.
Yeah,
I'll take Vancouver. Well, good place.
Vancouver, Ontario, whatever.
Toronto.
But I just think that they just feel violated with everything going on. So, do you boo the national? I don't think you boo anybody's anthem. Politically wise, I think you just keep it. Let's just keep sports, politics. It's impossible. But the way it came out, and it came in a very defiant way. They're very upset about it. But I'm like you, Rock. It's okay if you're going to boo. I get it. But there's national anthem. How when the players introduced you can boo them there versus the anthems that they have. Be respectful for those anthems.
Connor, are we okay? Did the anthem finish? I know it was like 123. All right, so let's get to the USA Canada. Here are the 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
And the gloves are off. Hagel from Tampa Bay to Chuck from Florida. Did not see this coming. Both sides said they hoped it wouldn't happen tonight. It did. It helped set the tone. Charlie McAvoy put one on net. Now we're 9 seconds in. We had a fight 2 seconds in, another one 1 second later. Now in the center of the action, it's Colton Parayko and JT Miller. This is like 1996 when this building opened up with the World Cup.
Love it.
It was great.
It really was. At first, like I said, I was a little upset because I'm like, all right, hockey has an opportunity to own the weekend, and they ended up owning the weekend because what was interesting is that went viral and went on every single network, not sports, from ABC to Fox to CNN. Everybody had it, and the Canadians have to look foolish today. Well, maybe not today, but right after, because we as a country went after them by showing it everywhere. Now, people didn't really know why that the fight started. They think when you're just seeing a headline, you're thinking that this happened because of the booing. It wasn't. So we're going to play before we get to what the fight was about. Here are the Bash Brothers, which are now the nicknames of the Kachucks. And here is, they were mic'd up right when they were the 2 fights. Okay. They were mic'd up, and here's what they had to say in the penalty box.
I'm good. Unbelievable.
They did kick their asses.
They did.
They got after it.
I mean, it was
their
3-0.
dad taught them well.
Yep.
That's for sure.
There's no Canadian could call in right now and say that you guys won those fights. You did.
I mean, they got after it. They were bound determined.
I mean, they weren't blowouts, but we got the edge.
It was tough to connect. All of them were tough to connect as far as blows to the head, but it's interesting. As soon as they go down, those refs jump in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Jump right on top of them.
All right, here are the brothers, the Kachucks, after the game about the fight and where it all started.
Did you know early today you wanted to try something like that at face-off, or it just comes in?
Yeah, there's a little discussion during the day, and there was a group chat going on today. So still slept like a baby though, but you know what? And then we just kind of reaffirmed that we're gonna do that. And I think Matthew's fight to start off was just such an energy boost. I think I was more excited, more nervous than my own, and then Millsy to cap it off to go against a big guy like that. I think he did a great job, and I think it was pretty awesome.
What's interesting about these guys, all 3 of them aren't big fighters. They're little guys, and they went at it, which is great.
And the last little guy went after the guy was at 6'7". With
yeah.
skates, he's like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of a draw, but that big guy got it wrapped around him and got him down quickly. And fortunately, the officials jumps on top of
3 fights in 9 seconds.
Never seen it, ever.
I haven't
before.
never seen that.
Well, slap shot.
Well, but that was the Hanson brothers that did all that work, but not from they dropped the puck. I've seen guys drop the puck and then go, but I haven't seen 3 of them in 9 seconds. That's got to be a record.
We're in our studios here at ESPN 620, and there is a breaking news on News Nation that a Delta Airlines flight flips in Toronto.
Oh boy!
Wow. Yeah, it's right behind you, Jimmy.
Okay. I see it.
Look at that. Wow.
But unfortunately,
I'm sure many of you driving around today,
Yeah.
you're going to want to get on your phone and look at this.
Okay.
We can't hear anything, so we don't know if there's any casualties or anything like that. Hopefully there's not. But a Delta Airlines flight flips in Toronto. I'm sure.
Some bad weather back in there.
Yep.
Anyway, real quick, the Daytona 500. Daytona 500 made history as the president of the United States actually was kind of leading the way, which I thought was pretty cool. And here's some sound of that. And one of the drivers and his opinion of the president at the Daytona 500.
But this is truly an historic first. A sitting United States president pacing the field for the Great American Race. He said he wanted to do a lap. He's going to do it. And are the drivers excited about this? Well, here's Clint Boyer's radio.
Pace the field? Yep. Love it. Gosh, it's awesome.
So Williams Byron wins his second straight Daytona 500. He is one of 5 drivers to win the race back to back. So good stuff there as our president's getting some he loves the sports. So I don't know what
he loves the limelight,
he'll
the
be
sports. So you're driving around
too. If I was the president of the United States, I'd beat all this stuff because you can't get a ticket. So as a president, you can do anything you want.
Come in the back door with your entourage, your
It's awesome.
Driving that.
How's that not cool?
You have that.
Maybe you like the president or not. If he's Republican or Democrat, a sitting president getting a lap at the Daytona 500, and you didn't go with me, but I've been to Daytona 500, and it is a remarkable place. Of course, it's the Super Bowl of NASCAR,
right?
But just to be there, I think it's pretty cool.
I thought it was interesting. Him in his big tank of a car going around. I wonder what was the top speed? You get to like 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. They probably got around.
I want to know how many of those are. Do they fly that car into?
Yeah, I think yes, they do.
Yep, they do.
They do.
It just goes anywhere.
Yeah, everywhere he goes, the car goes.
Plus the cars. Plus the cars the Secret Service are in.
They all fit in the Air Force One.
That big old. It's like a 747. Yeah, that bad boy is filled with cars. I even think that. Was it the cars and all the above? So yeah, that thing was going around the track at about probably 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. To see that big bad boy going around and him waving at the crowd.
What's that? What's the next big event? March Madness? You think he'll
probably
be at,
yeah.
March Madness?
Yeah, probably see the finals. You'll be in there.
All right, coming up, we'll catch up with former NFL and Sun Devil quarterback Rudy Carpenter. Get his thoughts as we now turn the page to free agency and the draft. But first, here's Jax with a local sports update right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's bottom of the hour ESPN 620 sports updates. I'm Jackson Groff. The Arizona Wildcats dropped 6 spots in the latest AP Top 25 men's basketball rankings released earlier today. Arizona sits 17-8, split in the poll after suffering 2 losses last week, falling to Kansas State on the road Tuesday and dropping a close game to Houston at home on Saturday. With just 6 conference games remaining, the Wildcats trail Houston by 2 games for the conference lead and are tied with Texas Tech. Houston, however, climbed to number 5 in the country after Saturday's win at McKale Center and will face Arizona State on Tuesday. Arizona set to play Baylor tonight at 8 p.m. following the loss on Saturday before hosting BYU this Saturday. There are multiple ways to listen to us, ESPN 620 AM on FM 98.HD 2 and always streaming live at arizonasports.com.
Get ready, Scottsdale. On March 15th, the Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival comes to the Scottsdale Civic Center. Sip and savor from more than 40 celebrity wines and spirits while enjoying live appearances from legends like Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Neil Giraldo, star of the TV series Criminal Minds, Joe Mantegna, WWE's Brie Garcia, NBA All-Star Tom Chambers, and more. VIP tickets for early access, private lounge, and more at civiccenterlive.org. It's the Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival.
There's going to be a lot more games that tickets get to that price. So if you want to be a part of them, you better buy season tickets. You better do it right now. You better sell it out because we're going to have a lot more games where this state wants to show up to. Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? It's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose, it's a way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose, it's a way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose, it's a way to go.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learner and Roach is the way to go. On 977-1900, 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
There are thousands of career paths your child can pursue, and costs come along the way. I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee, encouraging Arizonans to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Plans can be used for college, trade school, and education expenses. Unused funds can be rolled into a retirement Roth IRA. Prepare now for wherever their dreams take them. Visit az529.gov.
There's a lifetime Roth IRA rollover limit of $35,000, sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
If you recognize my voice,
Am I hitting
you
the
know
right
about
button?
my music. What you may not know,
Can you come back with
the Elton John
NBA All-Star game? Do we have Draymond Green?
people. We've saved over 5 million lives. We've helped
Yeah,
combat
yeah,
LGBTQ
yeah. Is that cool?
plus stigma and fought for civil rights. We need you to help end the AIDS epidemic once and for all. Learn about how you can help at eltonjohnaidesfoundation.org and follow us at EJAF on Instagram to see our very latest accomplishments through the Rocket Fund.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
So the NBA debuted its new All-Star game format yesterday, and the verdicts were mixed, as you would expect it. As, I think Draymond Green, he didn't hold back. We'll play some of that in just a moment as he ripped the structure of the event during an interview on TNT between the first and second game, calling it unfair. Here's exactly what he said.
This question leads to where he wants to go. You work all year to be an all-star, and you get to play up to 40, and then you're done. This is so unfair to Victor Wembanyama, who just took this game really seriously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who just took this game really seriously. When you talk about chasing after the points record, Melo, Kobe, and all these guys who've had great scoring nights, they don't get the opportunity to do that with this game. Also, we can watch some rising stars. We're about to watch the Olympic team. Now we get the treat of watching the Olympic team play against a U19 team. Come on, what are we doing? This is ridiculous.
Kenny's team is done, by the way. Chuck won. Kenny's team was vice versa. Yes. Yeah, so SGA's still in it, Victor in it. But you're talking about the scoring records that we've heard. Tatum leading all scores 55 a few years ago. It's harder to catch.
They can't do that. They don't get to etch their name in the history books. It's the reason you get an all-star, Kobe Bryant all-star MVP award.
Scale of 1 to 10, your thoughts of the format?
10 being the best.
Yes.
A 0. Sucks. Say basketball. I just wish you.
That's Draymond Green, as I mentioned, didn't hold back. He went on to say, you work all year to be an all-star, and you get to play up to 40 points, and then you're done. And it's just nuts. Here's what Charles had to say on the comments of Draymond.
I know that there's some skeptics even in our staff about the format of this game. However, the only thing that's questionable is that, the young guys get to play Sunday. But in terms of play, Chuck didn't say it. You said there's a reason why this game. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Draymond a lot. It's listen, we're trying to. I use the analogy like when your kids mess up the house, you make them clean it up and they complain and they mess the game up. That's why we're trying to kamikaze stuff out here right now. So his generation messed the game up. So don't act like he's mad because they're trying to use rookies and we're doing every type of trick to make this weekend exciting.
I agree with that statement by Barkley 100%.
Yeah,
I really do. And it has changed dramatically just over the last 10 years. You didn't have these issues during the era, from the very beginning of the NBA, But then when you moved into real superstardom and Bird and Magic, all-star games, they competed hard.
Sure,
Jordan carried through, competed hard. LeBron, when he came into the league, competed hard. And in the last 10 years, it has gone soft. That's exactly what has happened.
There's a lot of pundits or people are saying that they're blaming the players.
Yes.
But it's the format that is given to the players. Right? They're playing the game that they are told to play.
That is correct.
Well, I
think
in
the rest of the season, it's all about scoring, right?
Yes.
So they get in an all-star game and they're scoring 200 points each.
Yeah.
So they're doing what the league is all about, is scoring.
I think that's a good point, Rock. But I think what a lot of the Barclays, the old school guys, are saying is that they're not competitive. They're when it comes to a regular all-star game, it's just run and shoot. Back in the day where there's defense being played, they didn't rely on the 3-point shot as much as they do now.
Agree.
So part of the residue is there's nothing but a bunch of shooters. I watched this game yesterday and went, what's the only difference is they played a 40 versus the first one to 200.
Okay,
that was it.
All right. Okay, fair. That's why it's mixed, responses to this. Was it more competitive than last year?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I did
Layup, shots.
It was much more competitive.
Did you see any defense being played? I didn't see any defense being played.
I saw the guys running back and forth, and they were hustling. I mean, especially when it came down to the wire, and that was competitive. And when the Rising Sun guys were playing well, the other guys had to step up because they didn't want to get beat by these rookies.
But I saw nothing but alley-oops, fast breaks, 3-point shooting.
Great alley-oops.
Yeah, okay. Like I'm saying.
Great fast breaks. Steph Curry put on a show.
Okay, it looked like the guys were like in maybe second or third gear.
How about Curry's shot from mid-court?
Yeah, how about that?
Awesome. But they do that every year.
But
there's going to be some flair and show. I get it. I understand it.
And that's
the
why
game was more competitive. It really was. And I think if that was our poll question, and if you watched it, those games, which the time in between the games is a joke.
Yeah.
But those games were competitive because you were playing for the first one to get to 40.
Yeah, but I think that it was still, guys going by uncontested. There was so much uncontested shots there with all of them, and then guys shooting from everywhere. It's knockdown, drag out the last 5 minutes that we were used to seeing many, many years ago. Guys D'ing up on guys. I didn't see anybody D up on anybody. Was it zone or was it Ole?
They weren't playing.
Was it a great Matadors were out there on the court?
Ole.
The bullfight, Ole all over the place. The only difference to me, my opinion, guys, was it was at 40 versus the first one to 200. That's the only thing I saw that was any different. And how about James Harden passing up shots, kicking it out to Steph?
I'm just going.
You want to win the money, right?
Yeah, I just going to go back to what Barkley said, and you're right about the old timers, and they're going and they're shaking their head. And yes, I agree. In the last 10 years or so, it is the players that have taken this laissez-faire approach to the All-Star game, but it has been coming. Load management has changed everything in the NBA.
That's part of this.
That is that, and that's where the problem really began.
And if you have all the big boys playing there, everybody that's the best of the best, playing the last 5 minutes of a game, and you got all the top all-stars. I think fans want to say, okay, now we'll see if it's a close game. Who can D up? Who can make the shot? At that point, you go, this is, oh, wow, the best of the best. But LeBron doesn't play. These guys are hurt. I understand if they're hurt and they're injured, they can't play.
Right.
Okay.
I get that.
Let's talk about LeBron, though. You wait. I got a really good point. We'll get to you. Whoever's hitting the doorbell to join us. He knew he was not going to play. And the fact that an hour before game time, he says he's not playing is crap. I'm sorry. He could have been Devin Booker. He took a spot of a guy, of somebody that could have played. And he could have suited up. He could at least put his uniform on.
Could have walked out onto the court
and be part of the team, right? Yeah. Instead, comes out, wearing his street clothes and just a joke. So what's the doorbell? Go ahead. Hit it again. No. You can't talk until you hit the doorbell.
I love it. That's the rules.
So
Okay.
Sorry, well, I'm busy. All right, so Manuch. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, my question to you guys is, and maybe this is an Adam Silver question more. What means to you more if you're Adam Silver, the in-season tournament or the All-Star game? Because I think you can only have one. If you're gonna prioritize people to play for the All-Star game, then take out the in-season tournament. In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really liked the in-season tournament other than I'm sure they made money on it.
No, they did.
So they're making money. It's whatever
And the
Adam
players,
Silver I think, cares about the revenue.
Yeah.
I think it's the revenue is what they're looking
Well, the All-Star game's got more flair, more eyes.
Well,
they're
it's
gonna
been
watch,
around so long.
Yeah, but they're
too.
going to watch, the 3-point shooting, the slam dunk, the skills along with it. I mean, it's a 3-day weekend, so to speak, some more eyeballs on it. I didn't really pay much attention to the in-season tournament at all. It's like, okay.
None of us did.
Why? I mean, what does that do for
it was just kind of regular season to me.
I think Adam Silver's trying to it's hard to put lipstick on this pig right now. It really is. He's trying to do anything he can. And I think to Chuck's point, it's the monster's out there.
Yeah.
Genie's out of the bottle.
Yes, it is.
Just look at what the NHL has done.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And they've tried the skills. They tried
have
all the same
all of
stuff.
that,
All these professional sports have tried to do something that works, and it just doesn't. But I think we as fans make more of a big deal about it instead of just saying, "Hey, thank you. We got something to watch on Sunday nights, and Saturday night." Let's be honest. We're all tuning in.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it may not be to the level you want it to be, but still, it's entertaining. It's still something you rather watch than watching Netflix or something
still
else.
The stars of the game.
I just want to
Stars of
see if
the
there'd be
game.
anything more different than we've seen the last couple of years, and was disappointed.
I'm
We
telling
all
you,
want change, don't we?
Yeah, Rock, you hit the nail on the head though with the NHL. And Canada winning today guarantees Thursday night that it'll be Canada and the USA this Thursday night in the Four Nations Championship.
I can't think of a bigger ticket right now.
Oh, my gosh.
This time of year.
Yeah.
It's in Boston, so it's going to be sold out, and I'm sure it's a high ticket. I'm going to look at it during the break, see how much a ticket is to go to that game. But we are going to continue here. We got one more to go. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B here on President's Day. We got our rewind, which you'll hear from one NBA player who did not like the All-Star new format. So we'll get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on ESPN 620.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. #SexyRoofStatus. At State 48 Roofing, we are family-owned and operated, born and raised in Arizona. We'd love to give back to our schools and community. Contact us at state48roofing.com. What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. #SexyRoofStatus. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me? Free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
Craving tacos? There's one spot in town that everyone can't stop talking about. The Taco Spot. With mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors and a modern twist. It's no wonder they're the local favorite.
The Taco Spot has the best tacos I've ever had.
With locations opening all over Arizona, satisfying your cravings has never been easier. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. Enjoy handmade tortillas and fresh made-to-order meals that will leave your taste buds dancing. The Taco Spot, where every bite is a fiesta.
The President's Day weekend sale is here at Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, with deals in every department like 15% off all demo and used clubs, green tag apparel, buy 2 and get 1 free, and prior gen Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X now $49.99. Swing into Van's Golf Shops for the President's Day weekend sale, or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Proudly serving golfers since 1963 and home to our legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A. absent. Julio M. absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs like food, transportation, and healthcare.
Olivia H. absent. Preston L. absent.
But site coordinators from communities and schools connect kids to the resources they need so they show up prepared and ready to learn.
Jacob O.
present.
Visit communitiesandschools.org. Being present matters.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
I don't know. I don't know about this target score thing. I don't know about the 14s and all that. For me, I'm a traditional East-West guy. So, I think there's a way to make it an incentive or things like that to make guys compete really hard and just do the best players from the East and best players from the West, and they compete. And you try to, you just have pride with protecting your side. So I feel like that's a better way to go about it.
It's Trae Young. Not a big fan of the format. Yeah. That's our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. And Iraq, need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always at lernerandrowe.com. By the way, the Lerner and Rowe Gives Back Off tournament coming up in April. So we'll get that out here soon. So if you are a golfer and want to be part of a tournament that's it's top of the line, I don't think there's one better in this market than this one. It's outstanding. So it's a 12th year. We raise over $1 million each year. So it's a hell of a tournament.
Yep.
I wanted to see what the ticket prices are for the Four Nations Face-Off Championship between USA and Canada at the TD Garden in Boston on Thursday. It's 6:00 start here, but they start at 12:35 last row. They start. So I'm looking at some tickets that are corner lower level 4,800. Anything between the blue lines, $9,999. But behind the nets, lower level, $79.13 plus fees, of course, on all of those. So, wow,
fees. Who cares when you're paying $4,000 for a ticket? Yeah, another $100 on top of that.
A little bit more than that, Manuch. You haven't bought tickets. The fees are crazy. Wow. So that's going to be a hell of a game to be at, and rightfully so. How cool is that? Imagine the NBA could do that.
Oh my God!
Where they could create an international versus United States. I think they would have success. I think the reason why they don't do it is because they'll probably get beat.
Well, I was thinking the same thing,
right?
I don't know. Luka, Wemby,
yeah, really.
All the
you got some studs,
SGAs out of Canada. You think about all the guys.
Love to see it. I wish it would be middle of the season.
Yeah. Why
Jokic.
Why would Adam Silver not do that, Jimmy? Why would he not?
I bet he does. I bet he does what
does.
the NHL does.
Yeah.
Everybody's copycatting everybody.
Sure.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he?
That's when you think of some of those things that they all bring. Watching Wemby go up and down the court yesterday, I will say this: that kid, I knew he was talented, but I realized he was that.
Oh, he is really skilled.
He took the rebound coast to coast behind his back.
Yep.
He took off from about the free throw line and slammed it home.
7'4".
His arms have got to be 25 feet long. It looked like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, exactly.
He's weighing out there. That's going to lead us to our State 40 Roofing. It's your call question of the day. For free quote, repair, installation, head to state40roofing.com and follow them on social media by searching #SexyRoofStatus. Which All-Star format would you want next year's NBA All-Star game, as Rock alluded to? USA All-Stars versus the World All-Stars, or stick with the same format. Just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. What do the peeps say out there, Jimmy?
Right now, 100% USA versus the world.
Do it.
100%.
Do it, man.
Peer pressure will do it. And another thing is the NBA does everything in their power, like the NFL, to grow their sport internationally.
Sure.
This is the perfect opportunity to take it to another level and get some new eyeballs. The Super Bowl had some numbers today that came out that it reached total audience across Fox Deportes, Telemundo, their NFL digital properties, did 182.8 million.
Wow.
So that number, which counts for those who watched the game for at least a minute.
Wow.
But the average, which was released earlier this week, if you recall, was about 127 million viewers. But when you add the total reach of all the different properties, you're looking at 182.8 million viewers.
And remember, the game was pretty much a dud.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over pretty much by halftime.
It's interesting, as Charles Barkley mentioned a clip we had about the players, they created this monster. And then you hear Trae Young when we came back with our Learner on One Call That's All that says, hey, look, we've got to get this bet. We've got to make this more competitive. It's good to see him. What's he got, 6-7 years in the league now?
Yes.
That realizes this thing is slipping, not that the NBA is slipping away, but the viewership, the interest is waning. He recognizes that. These guys read social media. They read papers. Hey, look, we've got to do something better than what we're putting on the floor. And that's got to be an ultimate. So Adam Silver, hey, Trae Young and all you current NBA players, if you've got some thoughts, get them to Adam Silver, because right now with the numbers down and seeing what the NFL is doing is paramount for him to go, we got to get some semblance of getting back to where we used to be.
Here's what's on tap tonight. You got Arizona at Baylor. That will be on ESPN television at 8 o'clock. Locally tomorrow, Houston is in town to take on the Sun Devils. You'll be able to hear that on Arizona Sports 98.7, as well as on TV on ESPN, or ESPN2 is going to be on one of those two. And then later in the week, the Suns will be back at it. San Antonio, they'll be in Texas. That is 7:30 on Thursday. And then it all starts. Spring training baseball with the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. So that's good stuff. Get out to the park. Nothing better than spring training baseball.
Boy, isn't there ever? Man, it's just fun to go out there and just
When was the last time you went to a game, Mitch?
We were there 2 years ago doing a broadcast, as I recollect, Rock.
But you didn't go as a fan. You didn't just go, or as a just sit and have a beer and a hot dog.
No, I got there early and watched.
By the way, speaking of hot dogs, went to Costco yesterday.
Did you get one?
Yeah, it was good.
Really?
Costco dog.
Yeah,
man.
just, I mean, for $1.50, it's still $1.50.
Yeah.
It's been like that for like 25 years, right?
They used to be the
hot
best.
dog and a drink for was Costco. Was Costco a Coke store for the longest time?
Well, I couldn't tell you
because it's Pepsi now. It is now, but I'm wondering if it was Coke at one time.
Probably could have been easily, because they switch all the time.
So yesterday I was wearing a Lerner Row, of course. I was wearing a Lerner Row pullover, right?
Sure.
You've seen me wear it, just Lerner Row. 4 people stopped me. 4 and said basically, hey, you were Lerner Row, and yeah, I know your jingle. They're singing the song, and one guy stops me. One guy stops me and says, hey, thanks, man. You helped me out with my bankruptcy about 10 years ago. I said, I don't work there. I said, I'm on their board, but I don't work there. But the power of Lerner Row.
Power of advertising.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gosh, hey, tomorrow, it's the same Tuesday as normal. So if you listen to last week's show, it'll be the same guest.
Same exactly. Kyle Vandenbosch, GC Report, Kyle Dodd, Bobby Mack, Manana, be here, be square. 1
Just
o'clock
some advice if you ever want to get into programming, or, change is okay. Having different guests is good too. So one of these days.
These are all pertinent
same
guests.
guests on Monday, same guests on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I'm going to take off tomorrow. I'm going to take off.
Why don't you take Wednesday off?
Nothing
Take
else
Wednesday
is
off,
new.
too.
Nothing's
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for listening. If you missed anything, go to rockandmanuch.com or arizonasports.com.
Good night.